my God. They found me. I don't know how, but they found me. Run for it, Marty!
Hey YouTube, it's PhatPastor here, and thank you for joining us for Thursday night hang time with PhatPastor and friends. Tonight we have got a special show for you tonight. Don't want to belabor it at all. If I can get my mouse to work, we have a special guest with us tonight, Mr. EDrone himself.
What's up, guys?
And we got our co-host, Mr. Oops FPV.
Hey everyone, good evening.
And we have got a lot in store tonight. So thank you for joining us. And EDrone, thank you so much for coming and being a part of what we do here, which is a whole lot of chaos.
I really appreciate you having me on, and it's an honor to be here. Really excited. Oh, he said as soon as the page loaded, he said the guy yells and you pointing at me. I'm pointing at you. I see you, King Geek. I see you, brother. I see Double A's in the house. Corey Mono.
Yeah.
Neo. What's up? I saw One Visionario as well. What's up, Dustin?
Yeah.
It was so cool to actually get to meet you in person, man, at the minefield. Meet you, both of you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was hot, but it was a really good time. Really good time.
It was definitely a treat.
I look forward to it again next year.
Yes.
I made sure I picked me up my PhatPastor t-shirt right here.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to wait for it in the mail.
Oh yeah.
And if you like this, stay tuned because I will be giving one away here in just a little bit. So if you're very own, you can pick you up one of those right there. You can scan that. If you're not a member, scan that little URL code right over there, and that'll take you. Well, you're already here if you're watching, but for those of you that's not, just take a snapshot with your phone, and that'll take you right to my big fat-headed channel, and you can see what organized chaos looks like. And after people watch my show, sometimes they're like, "You really a pastor?
Are you a pastor?
I can't see people following you." Well, there's messed up people everywhere, so somebody's got to pastor them.
Same thing. I actually was like, "Is he really a pastor, or is that just like a catchy name?" I did. I thought the same thing when I first found your channel.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people go, "PhatPastor." Oh, that sounds an awful lot like,
I'm bigger than you. I'm higher in the food chain. Get in my belly. Come on.
And actually, that is how I got the name. So, as a youth pastor, I was chasing around a little person, telling him to get in my belly, trying to make a light of a more serious situation. And they're like, "Oh, you're like fat pastor," and it stuck. Like it's been that for almost 20 years. Well, probably over 20 years now. Yeah.
It's a catchy name.
I have adults in my church that are 30-something years old that I was their youth pastor when they were 13. So that's how it stuck with me. So
it's a very catchy name.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that at all? Let's see if that's online.
Yes.
That's one of the things I'm testing.
It is.
That's Okay. So it did show up on the stream?
On the stream, yes.
Cool, man.
That was the
membership thing? Yes.
Oh, I didn't see it on mine for some reason.
Yeah, 8-bit join.
Oh no, me and you won't see it on ours, but on like the YouTube live stream, it shows up. It gets me too every time like that. I'm like,
it says 8-bit celebrates 1 month of membership.
I'm just
Awesome,
learning this
man. What's up,
too.
8-bit?
I'm a freak. I like how you
Yeah,
spelled that there. I like how you spelled that. I'm a
yeah,
freak now.
hey, that's catchy. I really like
And I
that.
made sure I actually washed this shirt before the show
Oh,
because I wanted to see how it would hold up in the wash, before I started promoting it and all. And
did it
I
do
gotta
good?
say,
It
I
does.
washed it. I didn't even turn it inside out, and all of the logos held on. Nothing came off, split off. It shrunk just a little bit, which is exactly what I like.
Is what
And
you
now it's
like.
perfect, man. Super
That's
comfortable.
yeah, it is comfortable. And hey, this has been watched 3 times now. 3. So yeah, y'all
All
got to see a
right.
good visual
And
of
it's
I'm
that.
blue.
liking that.
So it's
And
already a
it
win in my book if it's blue.
that's
This is blue.
let me find out. Yeah, your favorite color is that too, huh? Blue and black.
Oh yeah.
See,
That's
Absolutely.
amazing.
the only thing that could make this better,
That was
brother, if you get to making them, if you could put a little white patch right here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. We'll make the pastor version.
Yes, make you would have like one sale of that.
That's
And
great. That's
I was
great.
trying to remember how to
And
turn my phone off.
I did want to say these are actually my 2 favorite colors. Blue and black is my 2 favorite colors. And then when you handed me this strap, I was like, Marty, it's my 2 favorite colors. Yeah. He's like, oh yeah.
So is it ironic that Casey was literally beat within an inch of his life and his favorite colors are black and blue?
Yeah, it's ironic, isn't it?
Wow. That could be a thing.
It is,
Uh,
and that's true. Very true.
it's irony, isn't it?
It is very
So
ironic.
let's get into some topics of some questions that I have for you there, Mr. EDrone. Is it all right if I call you Eric? I know a lot of people probably don't
Oh
know
yeah.
you as
Call
that.
me Eric, EDrone, whatever you want.
Okay. All right. Well,
Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Rebecca. My fiance hopped in.
Hello, Miss Rebecca. We'll put you right up there
Good
on the
evening.
screen. Hey.
Good evening.
And I am sorry for the
joined.
thumbnail, Miss Rebecca. If you did notice, I took a Facebook picture of yours over here, and I kind of cut everybody else out of it. And
Yeah.
it was
They're not going to be on the show, so they'll understand.
yeah. So it took me a little while. It took me a while. So, but
Unless they come down in the basement, then they might be on the show if they pop in.
yeah, I think I've seen the little one pop down a couple of times before.
Oh yeah, she loves the camera. She loves it. She loves interacting, and she's awesome.
Okay, well let me get some FPV questions for you. And chat, if you've got them, Casey's going to be watching the chat. He's not going to be leaving it up for 20 minutes like we did when we was building the other day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we got things we're working on, guys. We're not professionals, but
I'm learning, and I definitely got sidetracked, and I apologize.
we play one on YouTube though.
Yes.
So EDrone. So if you had a choice of, you've heard this before. Many people have probably heard people ask this. If you had one quad that you could pick, I'm just going to say that you could take with you on a 1-year vacation. Only one drone, unlimited amount of batteries, whatever, goggles, whatever, just one drone. What would it be?
Definitely would be my 5-inch freestyle drone.
5-inch freestyle.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's my heart right there.
Yeah, I love my 5-inch too.
All right.
Not that fact.
I think most people already know this answer, but Crossfire, FR Sky, or Express LRS?
Well, for me, it's always going to be Crossfire because that's what I run, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah. That's the majority of people that has come on my channel. That's their answer. That's the most common answer I get is Crossfire over Express LRS. So
now, if I was just getting into the hobby now, and I know what I know now, I probably would choose to go Express LRS because I don't have any gear yet. I'm fresh, and Express LRS availability of parts is a little bit better than Crossfire at the moment. We're hoping that changes, hopefully.
Right.
And it seems like there's a lot of binding flies and stuff that's coming with Express RS radios. You just have a lot more options, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yep. Yeah. When
And
it comes to racing, multi GP or TinyWhoop?
Oh, multi GP for sure.
Oh.
I went to the Muncie, Indiana, the International Open, the IO.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And man, talk about like adrenaline just
Yeah.
watching those 5-inch quads just scream around those flags, watching it third person and watching them just rip around the flags and just wow, the sound and
crazy.
watching them, it's intense.
I love it whenever they go around the corner. I like that sound. I just love it.
Yes.
I like it when I'm doing that out in the yard and I go around the tree. It's like, wow.
But I love the
it.
TinyWhoops too. They're so
Yeah.
cool. Like
Yeah.
they had a TinyWhoop tent set up there, and
Little
they had
3-inch.
all these little LED gates and tunnels,
Oh, yeah.
built in there, and they're flying through. It was a lot of fun. I kind of like them both, but if I had to pick one, it'd be the multi GP.
Yeah. Now that was my first race, but for me, most of my viewers know it would be TinyWhoop because I can do that year round, whether it's raining, it's snow, or whatever. And for a fat pastor, setting up a TinyWhoop race is a lot easier than setting up a multi GP race.
Got
Yes,
that right.
it is.
It is.
This boy don't handle heat very well. I can handle snow, cold. I'm fine. It gets like over 90 degrees and I start melting.
Mm-hmm.
Gates are cheaper too.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's why at Minefield, I spent most of my time under my tent. So I know actually the Saturday, I didn't fly at all that day. I flew Friday night.
Minefield was a special kind of hot. It was hot, man. I'm used to humidity because I live in Delaware, right on the East Coast, so we have a lot of humidity. But man, it was like a dry hot. Like if you stepped out of the shade for even 5, 10, 15 seconds, you knew it immediately. You're like, oh man, where'd that shade go?
Yep.
It felt like it was over 100 in the sun.
See, up there in Delaware, I've been up in that area a few times. Y'all got relative humidity, but down here in Tennessee, we got relative stupidity, which is so much hotter. So, and you put 10 in the mix of it, and it's right on the verge of an explosion. So,
yeah,
there was no shortage of shenanigans, that's for sure.
No. The hurricane got a big heat dome trapped over the center of the state. So, yeah, it's been raining here the past 3 days. So it's been
really
literally
we haven't had any rain in a couple weeks. It looks like it's coming though.
Yeah. Literally the last 5 minutes, I was mowing. You watch my channel. I fly around in my yard. And I live out in the country, and I was mowing, and my wife come out, and she got her phone, and she's like, "Hey!" And of course, I got my earphones on because I'm listening to, an audiobook, and so I stopped, turned the mower off, shut everything down, and I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "You better hurry. Rain's coming." I'm like, that's what I see the clouds. That's what I'm trying to do. And so, like the last 5 minutes of me mowing, I was mowing in the rain, and I come in and I told her me and my wife, humor is a big part of our relationship, always has been. I told her, I said, if somebody wouldn't have stopped me, I might not have got wet. So, yeah. As soon as I was done,
it's so important. I think in a relationship, it kind of helps like level things out, and me and my fiance, like we never really like fight, like we never really get in like really like big arguments, but man, we'll play fight all the time.
Oh yeah, yep. My my in-laws, they're my wife's family's from Virginia, West Virginia area.
Oh,
my
nice.
in-laws,
Okay.
When
far?
Bluefield and Beckley area. Actually, if you've ever been to Winter Place, I think it is, ski resort.
I don't think I've been there yet.
I think it's between Beckley if you go up, if you take the lift up to the top of the steepest route, whatever, if you go off the back side of the mountain, you would hit her grandmother's house. So she's
Wow.
literally on the other side of the mountain than the ski resorts. But that's
Wow.
and when my in-laws would come over after my daughter was born and she got a little bit older, my oldest has my wife's intelligence, which is much superior to mine, but my sense of humor. So we'd just be sitting at the table, just firing scuds right over each other's head. And my mother-in-law at one time, she was like, I just can't get a word in edgewise. I was like, exactly. That's how it is. Gotta take your jabs when you get them. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And I got a few more questions for you, and then you can fire some at me or the chat or whatever, and we'll just kind of improv it from there, freestyle it, if you will. How
I
did you
like
get?
freestyle.
Yeah. How did
Yeah.
you get started in drones? What got you started in RC in general or drones?
Okay, that's a good question. Most people, it's funny because most people actually ask me like, "Oh, how did you get started with FPV?" But the fact that you said, "How did we get started with drones?" Well, that takes us a little bit further back in time. So as much as I hate to admit it, I have to admit it. The reason that I got into drones was my ex-wife. She basically was like, why don't you try drones out? Because I was big into growing up. I was big into RC trucks, nitro trucks. My dad, he was big into the RC trucks, RC helicopters, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up with nitro, cars and trucks. I kind of got out of it for a little while. And then that was when obviously the ex-wife was like, "Oh, why don't you try drones?" And I'm like, "Nah, I don't really think I'd be into that." I'm like, I'm good, So she was like, "No, I think you'd really like it." So she ended up buying me a Walmart off the shelf sharper image drone, just a cheap $30 special little toy drone that had a terrible, crappy camera. You could barely make out a tree from a light pole. And it was laggy, but
Mm-hmm.
man, the thing flew pretty dang good. I mean, for someone who had never flown a drone in their life, it flew pretty dang good.
Yeah.
And I was actually able to push a button and make it flip and all that. And I really thought that was cool at the time. I'm
Oh,
like, oh
yeah.
man, this thing's a lot of fun, And it started to kind of open my mind up to like, this is a whole different type of RC that I'm not used to. I'm like, well, normally, I'm on the ground running my RC trucks and, you
Mm-hmm.
don't really have a large area. Normally you're just,
Right.
running it right on the ground in front of you. I said, but man, with the drone, it just opens up a whole giant playground for me. Like I got all this airspace I can fly in. So I really gravitated towards it. And then I started upgrading, obviously. I'm like, okay, well, this isn't good enough anymore. Let me get this drone. And I ended up getting a Hubsan H501S, which I actually still
I thought
have.
I
I
thought
lost it, but then it
Mm.
was returned to me years later. All that stuff's on my channel.
oh,
You wouldn't
yeah.
believe it if I didn't have a video, I swear.
Oh, that's awesome. I've actually got 2 of those. They're awesome. They're awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't
And that
realize
kind
they
of got
had
me into the
quads.
GPS side of things.
Oh, yes.
Um,
That's
and
where
then
I
I ended up
started.
a buddy of mine, I actually ended up buying his Phantom 3 standard used, but he had done all the long range, like Wi-Fi repeater mods on it. So this thing could go far, man. This thing, you could take this thing like, 3-4 miles out, no problem. So I got, that was what really kind of got me into the camera drones. And then after a while with doing the camera drone stuff, I kind of got, I don't want to say bored, but yeah, I kind of got a little bored with it. I kind of slowed down. That wasn't flying as much. And then someone, actually my ex-wife once again said, oh, they're having a drone race over in Dover, Delaware at the Dover Downs Hotel and Casino where they host NASCAR. They host a NASCAR there.
Okay.
And
Yep.
I'm thinking, okay, cool, drone race. Yeah, like I'm thinking, let's go watch some Phantoms like race around a track. I had no idea what I was in store for,
Right.
And I get there and I see, these relatively smaller drones than what I'm used to zipping around this race course with LEDs, and they got these goggles on, and I'm like, what is this? This is like a whole nother world. Like, wow, I've got to learn. I want to learn everything I can about this because this looks absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And then I was the annoying person, the annoying newbie who's like, oh my gosh, how do I get started with this? What do I buy? Where do I buy it? How do I get it?
Right.
And luckily everybody was super nice. They were super understanding. They loved, I guess, that, my enthusiasm with it. And they told me, they're like, man, if you want to get started, the best thing for you to do is go buy a wizard. Just go buy a wizard.
You got the wizard. You started with the wizard.
Wow.
And I was like,
right.
yes, I'm going to go buy me a wizard. Came with a controller. The only thing I had to buy was a cheap pair of box goggles.
Right.
And then it's all downhill from there.
So how did it fly? What was your experience with it?
Oh, when I first flew the wizard, I flew it line of sight, without the goggles. And man, when you're used to nothing but camera drones, this thing was like a rocket ship, man.
Oh,
yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
This thing's like a rocket ship. Like it took off, and it's got that sound, man. That sound. You can't forget that sound.
Right.
Sounds like an angry pack of bees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And then when you actually really like take off and zoom, it zips and it's like zoom. And my eyes could barely keep up with it, and I crashed it a lot. A lot.
So it held up on you. Yeah.
Well, yes and no. I went through a lot of props because the props that came with it were really bad. I mean, you could just have one crash, props are wrecked. I mean, I'm talking like a grass crash.
Right.
The props were absolute garbage that came with it. And they give you a lot of them, so naturally you want to use them.
Right. Yeah. Use them all up. I'm advertising your shirt here while I grab my first, other than the Whoop. I started with the Inductrix Whoop, but
nice.
This was my first.
Oh wow, that looks nice.
I did this is the Baby Hawk, the OG Baby Hawk. It's got an F3 on it, and the reason why the canopy's a different color is I was learning acro from an angle. Because I started flying airplanes 20-something years ago. But a friend of mine, McFly's that's on here, he got me into FPV after I had a head injury. And so I was practicing backflips over my driveway. And I didn't make it around. You see that camera right there.
Oh, wow.
So it broke it all off, but I don't think I'll ever get rid of this one.
It's insane.
All right.
We weren't going through props that bad because you got the prop cards.
Yep. And it actually flies good. So
that's awesome.
I'm looking here on making sure that this graphic shows up on the chat.
Thank you, One Vision.
All right.
And also,
yes, it's working. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to make sure my graphics here are all, my animations are all coming up. But
no problem.
I love this.
That was a long-winded question, so
yeah. Well,
sorry about that.
No, it was great. It was great. I mean, that's hey, this is a long-winded channel, and people, a lot of people from my church watch, and though they don't have YouTube accounts and stuff, they watch, and they're like, whenever somebody says long-winded, they're like, that's that man right there. Because I always tell them
I'm usually the one that's talking the most in a room, so it's nice to be with other people that talk just as much or maybe even a tad bit more.
Right. You got the gift of gab. I always tell people, I say, if they come and they hear me speak at all or anything, and I'm like, I say, in closing, and I say, y'all know what that means? And the whole church goes, nothing. It means nothing. It means that he could say it 5 more times. So
we'll be here in an hour,
So,
which is good. The longer, the better.
Well,
yes.
I'm glad you mentioned the planes because that was actually one of the questions I was going to ask you because I saw the planes hanging behind you there. So I wanted to know what was the scoop with the planes. Were you still flying them, or?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I tried to sell you one, if you remember, at Minefield. And you said you
And
couldn't
was
get
that
it
a
on the
plane
plane.
or a wing? Is
It was a
there-
wing.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
they're different though, right? Like a plane and a wing is different, or?
they are different. The main difference, if you see this white one up here, the vertical stabilizer on that has a rudder that will give you yaw. A wing doesn't have.
It's just the
So
wing,
think of a
right?
drone that only has pitch, goes up and down, and banks. So to
Ooh,
turn,
And it
yaw.
also don't have a tail, does it?
right?
It don't have
That's
a
called the
tail.
vertical stabilizer. It's got an elevator, but that's done by the ailerons coming up together. But to turn, you bank it and then pull up.
Yeah.
Now, are they all electric, or have you ever flown like nitro planes?
Oh, that's how I started. Was in nitro. 20 was before my daughter was born, and she's just about 27. So about 27 years ago, 28 years ago, I got a Superstar 40. Back then they called them ARFs, almost ready to fly, which was a box,
ARFs.
which was a box of sticks that was already monocoated, shrink wrapped, if you will, covered, and you glued everything together, put your motor in it, put your radio in it, put your servos in it. You had your own radio, and compared to binding flies now, almost ready to fly, it's, you're 15, 20 hours. And hang on, guys, I'm sorry. My phone is actually ringing. Sorry, my phone is ringing. So if you've ever watched
I thought it was
Impractical
a sound
Jokers,
effect, like something happened.
yeah, it's actually the ringtone off of my Impractical Jokers. So
yes, I love it.
Yeah, I love it when they actually
Oh
put it on a
yeah,
guy.
I love that show.
They put it on his phone and it keeps going off during like a book reading or something like that. So
My
I
dad
had to have
actually
it.
took me to
They're like,
a
"Turn
nitro
off the sound."
helicopter field,
Oh
flying
yeah,
field when I was real young.
yeah.
Oh man, you talk about a
Neat.
sight to see.
Yeah.
I bought my first helicopter when eBay looked like Craigslist.
Craigslist still. Yeah,
Wow.
I bet.
It was
That
just
was
like
a
a
while ago.
listing. It was just a listing of things, and you could click on it and look at pictures. And I bought a Dragonfly electric helicopter. I didn't get a nitro
You mean
helicopter
back when it was like 5 cents to sell something?
back when gas was under $2. So
Yeah,
way back
exactly
then.
right.
And but yeah, so I got into that. Me and my brother spent about 20 hours building it, the
Wow.
Superstar 40. And now we could have done it quicker, but I didn't use 5-minute epoxy. So when you like glue something together, then you got to wait and let it dry before you glue it back to something else. And so and went to the flying field, and there was a guy there, and he's like, "Oh man, you got your throws turned way up too high." And so he set them to there like this, and I hit a tree because I couldn't turn fast enough. I hit a limb, and it looked like a shark took a bite right out of the leading edge of the wing, and so that got a whole new monocoat job. But it hooked me immediately because when I was a kid, I tell people this all the time. If I think it's a good way. I've brought a lot of people into RC. If you as a child had dreams that you could fly,
Yeah.
and and I'm sure you probably did with a last name like Marvel, you had to.
Well, my dad, he always he loved flight.
Right.
My dad, he served in the military, and he loved helicopters. That was like his thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched him as when I was a young boy. I watched him like build this helicopter, this blade.
Mm-hmm.
He took like all these boxes of parts, and he builds this helicopter. And He finally gets it in the air, and he's got it in the air for, I want to say, about 15 seconds. And all of a sudden, it's just boom, and it just hits the ground, and it goes into like 100 pieces. And I watch his face just go from extreme excitement and joy to, well, start picking the pieces up. And he starts picking up all the pieces and puts them in the box. And he builds it again, and he does the same thing again, and he gets it for like 20 seconds this time, and he crashes it again, and finally he just said, "I'm done." This is before the gyroscopes and all that.
Right.
This was a fully manual, every axis you had to control, the blades tilted and the rotor and everything tilted, and it was not for the faint of heart. It got me introduced to it at a young age, and I think that stuck with me.
Oh, yeah. My first introduction to carbon fiber was through helicopters. The little electric helicopter I had, you could buy carbon fiber rods that were, tiny, like 1/16, eighth of an inch, and you put ping pong balls on the end of them, and you made them in a big X. And it would, like, if the disc on your copter was this big around, you needed to have the ping pong balls go out at least a few inches by it. And so when you're learning to hover, if you tip over, it was kind of like an angle. Those ping pong balls would push it back. So you started to get into, you didn't get too high up off the ground. You hovered, you had to get above ground effect, from the props. But you get about of course mine, it wasn't a big one. It was, I don't even remember what class it was called. It had 15-inch rotors on it, each of them. And but it's what it would do. You get up about 1.5 feet, 2 feet up, and if it started to drift, you just let your throttle off a little bit, and when it come back down, and it would hit like the bottom of the screen there, when that hit, it would auto level it. And so then you could go back up, and then you boom, and it would auto level. And
what a nice tool.
Yes, it saved me. It saved me from really trashing a helicopter, which is expensive. I know when I heard you telling your dad's story, I was sitting there thinking, I know even back in the earliest of days, that was probably a minimum of a $500 crash, if not $1,000 crash.
They were so expensive back then.
Yeah. And it's the helicopter world's still a little bit of an elite.
He got the best of it.
Yeah.
Double A asked how EDrone got so good that 5 feet.
Real quick. Not only was it the price, though, I think it was it was a combination of the price and the time. It took him like a week to assemble this thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Just to fly it for 15, 20 seconds.
Yes.
So you can imagine like your patience just running out.
Right? Yes. Literally, I built, stick built, not almost ready to fly. Built stick built planes. A box of balsa, a roll of monocoat, an iron, and a heat gun.
You must have more patience than me.
That was, well, it's, even now, all these years later, I like to look at them. I like to have them hanging from the roof and from the ceiling and just look at them. That's a Waco biplane there. That's a beast. I've got that too. All kinds of them. Got like the pits. I don't know if you can see here, but I got a
lay on the
pits
bed
on the wall.
Oh yeah.
This
got
one
quite
here.
a collection there, man. I love them hanging from the ceiling too. It just
Yep.
adds to they look like they're in flight, all the time.
I even got a flying guitar.
Yeah.
No, I'm lying. That guitar doesn't fly.
If I had more ceiling real estate, I'd probably do the same thing with my drones and just keep the sticker wall and just put parts on it, and then have all the drones just hanging from my ceiling.
Yeah. And what's fun, and if you ever make it down Tennessee way, if I can remember, if you make it out to Minefield next year, I will bring at least a micro and let you chase it. To chase a plane is.
I'd love to.
It's fun.
So fun.
Now it's a little
I
scary
got
if you're doing somebody else's. The first time I actually chased, it was my plane, and I was chasing it with a TinyWhoop.
Was
Don't know
it
if you
me?
can see it up there. You barely see it. It's the center race. Yeah, that was the first time I did an airplane chase.
What
I
with
only
me?
got to
Yep.
do one
When you
airplane
chased
chase,
me,
and
it
it was
was.
when I was very new in the hobby, and I was so nervous about like hitting it and like messing the guy's plane up that I didn't get real close. Or I'm sorry, I did do it twice. Sorry, I've done it twice.
Mhm.
I got
And both
got you.
times I was extremely nervous about hitting the plane and knocking it out of the sky. So that's one thing
Yeah.
I have to get
And
over.
when I chased him in my video, I'm like real far away from the plane the whole time
Yeah.
chasing him. But then when he's chasing me, when I was flying his plane, like he was saying, that was his first time, but he was way closer in his videos than I was in mine.
Now, but I was
It
flying
always feels like you're closer though, doesn't it? Like when you're in the goggles, it feels like you're so much closer, and then you
Yeah,
watch the footage, and you're like, man, I
and
didn't
it
think I was that far behind.
right, and it
I
feels like
actually
you're about
hit
this
it.
big when you're only like this big. It
I
does. It feels
actually
like you're huge out
yeah
there.
yeah. I actually hit a micro. I don't. Let me see if I can grab this.
Oh no.
When I'm
Let
flying,
me
my
let me get to Double
me
A's
and
question
me and
real quick. First of all,
yeah,
thank you so much for
yeah.
thinking that I am good at YouTube, because I still feel like I'm not good at it. Uh, I and the only thing I can say is over the years, I've just kind of gotten out of my shell, so to speak. If you look at my real early videos, I was very uncomfortable on camera. I felt like I was talking to myself. And when you feel like you're talking to yourself, you kind of tend to overanalyze, I think, and you kind of get like I don't want to say shy, but you just kind of don't really portray how you really are when you're speaking to somebody.
Right.
So the
Or
more I did it and the more exposure I got and the more I interacted with social media and the camera, I now don't really think of it as a camera anymore. Like when I look into the camera or I'm talking to people now,
yeah.
and it's just like me and you hanging out. Like we were in my backyard just hanging out and having a good time. When I'm on camera, it's really no different. I just, I will embellish a little bit on my videos to try and keep people entertained. So I will add maybe a little bit more of embellishment than I typically would be in person. Like, hey, what's up? Check this out. Kind of get a little extra hyperness, to kind of keep people engaged, because that's the thing, right? We got to keep people engaged because
Right.
our attention spans are just getting lower and lower. So anything you can do to grab people's attention, whereas moving your hands, that's a really good
Right.
little trick of the trade. Always moving your hands keeps people's
Yep.
eyes wandering, like, oh, squirrel.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
But
I've
Exactly.
just learned
Or
throughout the
or have
years just
things
from doing
dangling
it.
from your ceiling that turn when the air conditioning kicks on.
Oh
So.
yeah, yeah, those are great. Those are great.
or
Watching a
chop your
ceiling
finger
fan,
off with 5-inch quads. They like gross stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah. 8-bit says when chat at 0 and you're talking to yourself, it feels like yeah. Well,
How
that's
feels when I
for
do.
me. That's
All right,
what I started.
it's
What I
tough.
started to learn was a lot of people. I get more views after the live stream because I think
Right.
there's so much competition at this time of night. The majority of my views come after. So I go back and I watch myself. That's one of the things I do. I go back and I encourage Casey to do it. And you just go back and watch yourself and critique yourself. Say what you need to work better on. I should have got the anti-glare glasses, but one of the things that I didn't like about myself is after my head injury, I showed some people this. Those are trifocals.
Oh,
Those are my regular glasses,
oh
and
wow.
so to read the screen, I'd always having to pull up so I could look through the bottoms. Which,
Oh,
if you can see
Mm.
that pretty good right there, the
yeah.
bottom is to read close up.
Close
That little middle line right in there,
to the eyeballs.
that's at arm's reach. And then everything above that is beyond arm's reach. So I would have to take and put the text in this little spot right there in the middle. You can see that there.
Oh, wow.
And so I was always like, and who says, and people are like, you snotty. You got your nose up in there at everybody. So
I want to tell 8-bit, man, don't get discouraged, man. Keep at it. It takes a lot of work to grow a following, but think about it like this. If you are live streaming and you don't have a lot of viewers, or maybe there might not be any viewers, think about it from a perspective of, okay, people are going to watch this later after it uploads. So you're basically talking to them in the future. So they're gonna watch this in the future. So just kind of think about it like that, even if you get discouraged because no one's watching at the moment.
Wow.
Just try to think about it in the future, man. Just keep at it. Consistency is key. People like to see a schedule, like, oh, when can I look forward to seeing you come on? And that's the thing, is people are so busy nowadays. People have so much going on.
Yep.
Schedules,
Yeah.
And I would give the advice is be you and don't try to be anybody else. I think there's a lot of people trying to be Mr. Beast or Bardwell or something. And if you're not Bardwell, I've spoke to him in person on numerous occasions, and he really is in person before he ever become the FPV know-it-all. He shared that he is kind of a know-it-all. When he's in the group, he likes to be, or used to being, the smartest guy in the group, and so he's just being himself. It's not that he's just being a jerk or he's arrogant or whatever. And I'm a nut. I cut jokes and stuff from the pulpit and things. So I just give what's me. That's all I can give. And I think if you're real, because people see phony. Everybody my opinion, everybody in the world's just tired of phony. And so just be you, and what makes you different from everybody will be what makes you people want to come watch your channel. What makes you different. That's
absolutely. Yeah, because if at the end of the day, if you're trying to portray something that you're not, it's going to come out eventually. It's going to seem disingenuine and all that, and
right.
I mean, I had a chance to have Barwell on my show, and I straight up told him, I said, man, you are one of the biggest inspirations for me and my channel.
Yeah.
Because when I first got into FPV, his videos helped me out so much, and I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted to help people, and that was like the push. Like, okay, I'm actually understanding this now in a way that I think I can feed it back to people and make it easier for them to understand. And that was the whole goal. And that's why I did so many build videos and tutorials. And I got to a point where I honestly would not even do a build without recording it. And it finally took me a while, but I finally just said, okay, I'm going to actually do a build for myself. I'm not going to film it. I'm not going to commentate. I'm not going to teach. I'm just going to enjoy this build for myself.
Right.
And man, it felt really good to just do it for myself, because as a creator, you're always looking to create. You're always looking for that next video. Oh, this could be helpful. This could teach somebody something, So you kind of have to tame that down sometimes, because it's just a constant yearn,
Yeah, it's like to record everything you do, everything.
Yeah,
I've
you
got
have to
like
kinda
hundreds
tone
of
it down.
videos. Yeah, because I got like so many videos that I want to do stuff with, and I just haven't had the chance. Haven't.
Right. And
so many.
And you'll have a ton of people telling you what works for them. Like I still get people all the time on my Mobula 8 analog and HDzero comparison. I know you watched it because you commented on it.
I sure did.
It's like I got to go spend some more money now. And but I had a couple of ugly.
Just what I need.
Of course, on my channel, if it's an ugly comment, it doesn't post it, and it gives me a chance to, because a lot of children.
It's insane.
Thanks, McFly. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And it gives me the chance to review it, because a lot of children from my church, I mean, some little dudes, 2-3-year-olds, watch the channel earlier, And so I filter that out. And one guy was like, "Man, why's every one of your videos got to be at least 15, 20 minutes long? Why can't you be like Nick Burns and say bang, 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 bang?" And I said, "Because that's Nick Burns. Nick Burns goes bang, bang, bang. I make videos that I like. When I'm done with it, if I like my own video, then I don't care if anybody, I don't mean it's ugly, but I don't care if anybody else does because I'm proud of what I did. And first, you have to like it."
All right. I will tell you what was very hard for me to do in the beginning was I was super critical about everything that I filmed. I wanted to show everything.
Oh, gosh.
anytime it came to cutting out anything, oh no, I'm not cutting out anything because I worked hard on this. I filmed this is part of the whole story. This is part of the video. I took time and I filmed this, and I would very rarely would I cut anything out. And I finally had to break down and say, okay, when I'm watching this and editing this, don't look at this as in, oh, this is my work, this is my creation, look how much time I put in this. Look at this as you're someone watching this video that has no idea how much time that this person's put into it. Are you engaged? Are you getting a little bit tired here? Is this feeling drawn out? Is this feeling a little bit long? And I finally had to get over myself and say, no, I got to cut this out. It's going on too long. I'm rambling too long, or this just is taking too long. I think if I was a viewer, I would have clicked away by now. And man, that made a huge difference in my channel. I really do think keeping things moving, trying to keep things as short as I possibly can, but trying to get all the information in there, cram it in. Here's what I'll tell you. You like long videos, that's not a bad thing. You like to make long videos, the key for YouTube is you put timestamps in the description and you tell people right in the beginning, hey guys, timestamps in the description. That way,
that's something I don't do. I should
if you start doing that, I guarantee you will see better results with people watching more of your video and not clicking away, because now you've given them the tool to be able to watch what parts of your video they want to watch. And what happens when you have 100 people that all want to watch different parts of your videos? Well, you get all the views, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get all the views. Now, they might not watch the whole entire thing, but they're not going to watch it. Most of the people that watch aren't going to watch your whole entire video anyway. My average watch time is like 3 minutes, if that, sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right.
And the majority of the people that watch are not subscribers for most people.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. Yeah.
And that button.
But yeah, timestamps. Try that.
Yeah,
Highly recommend it.
that's something that I'll do.
Isn't that an easily accessible thing? On
Timestamps,
YouTube?
you basically make it yourself. You can do it through like notes if you want to put it in notes, copy and paste to your description. But basically, you'll just put the time, 0, 0, the whatever it's called, the hyphen semicolon for the time.
I never can remember the name.
Hours, minutes, seconds. Yeah.
Yep.
Basically.
And then you'll put like 01 introduction. And then you'll do 0005, talking about this, and then you just go right down the line and just put on there everything and break it up. Go through your video editor. That'll give you all the timestamps you need. You can just stop it at one section and look at the time. Use that time.
Yeah. I think I did it on one of my videos.
So the video editor and YouTube will let you do all that. You don't have to
You can do it through YouTube as well. I find it to be a little bit more difficult through YouTube itself.
What do you
For me personally, that's why I just add it to the description and I just use my editor time stamp to get the times. But yeah, feel free to use YouTube if that's easier for you. That's just for me personally, but for you, it might be easier to use YouTube's timestamp process.
Hey, I'm all for whatever. I have no clue on this stuff. I'm just learning, and I am so. This is some information that my brain has so been desiring to hear.
I've
So
been
thank
doing
you so much for
YouTube since
sharing.
2009. I started YouTube as a Freddy Krueger costume channel. I used to be big into Freddy Krueger the movie. I had like the silicone masks and the metal glove, and I bought a cheap camcorder and started filming myself doing these skits with, as Freddy.
Yeah.
That's how it all started, man. It was
Oh,
E
wow.
Freddy 09 is how it started, and then I changed it from E Freddy to EDrone 09, and then eventually I just dropped off the 09 because that was me and my wife's anniversary year.
Right.
My
Oh,
ex-wife, my
yeah.
ex-wife, and
Okay,
I
yeah.
just said, hey, let's just call it EDrone, and that's what I did with it. But I've learned so much through the years just from trial and error and doing this and trying that and looking at the results. And I will tell you nowadays, if you're looking to make videos, um, any kind of flight videos, you want to be well under 10 minutes, if possible, to get good results. Any kind of tutorial videos, you want to go over 10 minutes, or any kind of vlogs, man, those timestamps will really help. Put the timestamps in the description. Make sure you tell them in the very beginning, your audience, hey guys, timestamps in the description. Make sure you check it out. It helps so much with the longer form content.
Yeah,
Fred
okay.
Drone, right? That's what
Fred
Double A said.
Drone.
Fred Drone.
Yeah. Funny.
One of the
Yes,
things
that would be
that was for me that and it's different for everybody. I think
good stuff.
being a content creator on YouTube, it's kind of like I could compare it to flying FPV. You can go and just get binding flies and just fly them. But if you're ever going to get to the place where you're really good and you get better, you're going to have to build. And and you're going to have to practice, and you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to put more into it than just buying a binding fly and going and flying it. So, and I think it's the same thing with your content. Thumbnails for me.
Oh,
Once I started doing good
so
thumbnails,
time consuming.
I jumped from like 1,000. I mean, I just went from like 600 to 1,000, like in no time. And like last night, I was talking with Casey. We were kind of planning the show and what stuff we were going to talk about. And I guess we was on the phone for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Yes.
And I was late getting the stream schedule up, and I spent about 2.5 hours just on your logo, cutting the quad off of it so I could just have your name on it, and then cutting your face out of your Facebook picture, and then getting all of that into a transparent background, and then putting one piece in at a time, and then putting an overlay over it. But for me, it's part of it. I want, that's kind of like putting LEDs on your quad.
I've got them all over.
Like this little quad here, and this is what I chased the airplane with. And I actually hit it when Casey was flying it with this little drone.
Yeah, I've got a video of it. And he actually hit this quad. I was flying my Chimera 4, and we were like, wow, wait, was it this one? Yeah, it was wow.
I don't remember. And
Man.
But anyway, I mean,
he kept going, and I just stopped. I hit the
Right.
to the ground. He just was,
I had a friend of mine who's, I got to reach past
hilarious.
my camera. Sorry about this, guys. Reaching in your face, 3D. I had a friend of mine ask me. He's like, why do you go through all that trouble putting LEDs on your drone? He
same time.
he rode with me, and this is actually another one. I built this one that had HDzero on it, and I was actually flying this one, and he was like, well, you can't see any of it. Well, why do you put all of that on there when you can't even see it? I was like, because I want it to look pretty when it's flying. He's like, but you don't see it. I was like, I don't. But everybody else sees it.
Everybody
And
else sees
that
it. It looks
Yes.
cool when
that's
you fly
the
it.
same thing
Awesome,
for me
yes.
with a thumbnail. You know,
Yeah.
I could just throw it up without a thumbnail, but for me, and some people, hey, if you don't like LEDs on your quads, then great, I do. And
That's for
so
sure.
do you. That's what I keep telling
If
people. Just do
if
you.
you already have a substantial following, and I'm talking like pretty big, like I'd say 20,000 and up, thumbnails aren't as important for certain things because you've already established the following, right? But when you're trying to build that following and grab people, definitely try to always show your face, a face. For some reason, YouTube's algorithm just likes to see faces on thumbnails. And if you don't put your face and you just put a drone up, unless you're Joshua Bardwell or Nick Burns, the videos, at least mine, anytime I don't show my face, they do, I'd say, at least 35% worse with views.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I took all that time to cut your face out and put it on the
See?
thumbnail.
See?
So,
Exactly. It's worth all the extra effort if you do
I've
a
got
good thumbnail.
I've got a question for you, and
Sure.
this will see. Just play this game with me. I want to see how long, if you can answer where this comes from.
Oh, don't be a sheep.
Nope.
Might have to play it again.
Oh.
I have to put my headphones on to hear what you're saying.
Says you
Yeah.
have to play it. Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to play it again.
What I say,
Let me do another one.
I will be a strict but fair lord of these lands, and my serfs will come to idolize me.
Is it
Try it again.
Simpsons?
Let me give you another one.
Oh, no.
Yahtzee!
Nope, that won't tell him.
Oh,
He-
Yahtzee. Are you able to
doesn't-
hear it?
Rick and Morty?
Oh, no. He said Rick
Hang
and
on.
Morty.
All right.
The moon landing was fake.
There's a good one.
Oh, okay. Conspiracy theory?
Okay, you're getting close. You're getting close.
closer.
Let's try one more. That was stupid. Try another one.
Lizard
Wonder
people!
why.
Lizard people!
Oh, there it
Who's
is.
talking during lizard people.
It's the robot from that space movie, right?
I wonder why. Why he can't figure it out.
Why
Wonder
can't I figure it out?
Why
is that?
can't you?
He's probably not watched the show.
I don't think
Why?
I've
Let's see
seen.
if anybody on the Goldfish,
Oh, we
My
got
Little
it.
Fish,
We got a
Mike-
winner.
Mike Bergman, the Y Files. Yes,
That's right. The
love the
Y
channel.
Files. I don't think I've
Amazing.
ever seen it.
You're gonna
Hecklefish.
binge watch it when you watch it. You're gonna binge watch it. I promise.
I love the teeth on him.
You gotta watch it. The Y
Why have
Files.
I not seen this?
It's on YouTube, and you're gonna be like, "Why I have not seen it?" When you watch it, because it's just gonna all blow your mind. All of it's just gonna
Y-Files.
blow your mind.
I'm one of those people who already doesn't think that we landed on the moon, by the way.
Oh, you're gonna.
Oh,
flip
you
out
gotta
when
watch
you-
him then. You've gotta
Yeah,
watch
I'm one
him.
of those. I
It's gonna
don't
blow.
think it happened.
You're gonna need what they call a brain bucket. You're gonna need one.
Yeah. And,
'Cause your brain's gonna come out of
and
your
for those
mouth.
of you that
It's
get
gonna-
offended, I can remove the foil hat.
Because answer me this, right?
Yes.
If someone could answer this and give me an actual real answer, then I may believe that we landed on the moon. But answer this. If we landed on the moon, all right, why in the world has no one else even attempted it or done it in the entire world? And why have we not gone back to explore more?
Because you need to watch the Y-Files and it'll explain.
Yeah. That's because
You need to watch the Y-Files and it'll explain. It'll answer your
It's
question.
always the
I
most
like the thing-
easiest answer. Oh, it's too expensive. We just can't afford to go to the moon.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
gonna
buy that.
answer-
yeah,
it's
when
gonna answer your
when there's
question.
more technology in this
Right.
than was on the space shuttle.
Exactly.
That,
We don't
that's
have the
right.
money.
But
That's
I like it
no.
because the guy that does it, the fish
Great.
is more of the
Great.
conspiracy theorist, Hecklefish,
Yeah. Yeah.
and but
And the one that
he
does
actually,
it isn't even.
yeah, he kind of does the. This is like his Casey, so like his Oops FPV,
Yeah.
and
He
but
doesn't even really believe in it.
I
Whereas
like the show so
some of
much.
this
I ordered
great.
his merch, so I
Yeah.
watch
It's
it all the
Yeah,
time.
that's pretty cool. I have to
But
check it
there's
out.
yeah.
Hecklefish?
Hecklefish. It's
Yeah.
actually called the Y Files. It's
Y files.
The
and
Wi-Fi.
not all of it's conspiracy theory stuff. There's other things. It's
No.
just
I used to watch the
A
X
lot of it.
Files. Big
A
X
lot
history.
of it.
fan.
A lot of it's real, and he'll tell you some of the stuff that
Mhm.
just it just ain't real. But he
Yeah.
tries to debunk a lot of the stuff, and some of the stuff
Uh-huh.
he just can't debunk. He actually ends up proving it by
Yeah.
trying to debunk it.
Because his fish argues with him. He's like, "Now, come on, it's the lizard people. It's
Yeah.
always the lizard people."
Do you
Yeah.
remember the porta potty
And they are
monster in the
real.
X Files, man? That
Oh,
thing had me scared to
yeah.
use a porta potty for
Oh
years.
man,
Porta
you ain't
potty monster.
joking.
Yeah,
I
I'd
always thought
forgotten
it was
about
gonna
that.
open the door and come out of the porta potty.
Come
No.
out of the porta potty. I think it was a guy. He went. He was a construction worker, and he went in there to go use it. And sure enough, the porta potty monster was right down in there, come up right through the thing and grabbed him.
Yeah, and it breaks him in half and pulls him
Right.
through, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
that
how many
wow.
kids were afraid of storm drains after it?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's another good one. Yep.
Yes. Marcus Zero said, "Hey, Pastor, thanks for the cotton candy grape recommendation." And that is so funny because just yesterday I was thinking about getting some of those.
Oh, have
and
you
I
ever had any
forgot.
of those? You
I
done?
had
Get
just
some
recently
tomorrow.
got to try them. I didn't even know they were a thing. My
Oh,
fiance actually got some from the grocery store, and I was like, "Really? Cotton candy grapes?" And
yeah.
I
They're
tried it,
legit.
and I was like, "This is amazing. These are delicious."
I'm getting
Right.
some tomorrow.
It's like,
Hey,
Yeah.
what's up, B-Rad? Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
there he
I
is.
gotta say real quick, I was so happy and so overjoyed to meet everybody at Minefield.
Yep.
To me,
Me
that's
too.
like,
Me too.
honestly, even
That's
if
the
I
best
didn't
part.
fly one pack,
Mhm.
Right
just
here. Same here.
meeting and talking and hanging out with everybody was well worth the trip. Even if
Yeah.
I didn't even fly one pack, I kid you
Yeah.
not.
I didn't
Yep.
fly any that day. I flew the day before, but I didn't fly any that day, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
Hey,
actually
there's
got
Philip
to help.
Kushat. What's
I
up, brother?
actually got yeah. Good evening, Philip.
Hey, Philip.
And I actually got to
Just
help
getting
get
people's.
a pilot or so in the air, and that I enjoyed doing that
I
more
think
than
I saw
flying
Mr.
myself.
Jackrabbit here earlier. People just
Oh yeah,
coming out and
Jackrabbit.
handing out their stickers and
Hey, boom, hey.
I know. I'm getting to a point where I think I'm gonna have to do another sticker wall because I can't find any more room on my wall. It's like completely filled with my stickers from
Yeah.
everybody.
this
Yeah,
here
I'm
is
trying to figure out what. I'm trying
this
to
is a
figure out.
gun cabinet, and it's actually got my lipos in it.
Nice.
I took fireproof drywall and put compartments in it, little square
Oh, there
cubby
you go.
holes like in
It's a great
kindergarten,
idea because it's fireproof, right?
and it's got
Yeah.
Perfect.
a smoke alarm in it, and I don't put more than 2 or 3 batteries in one little cubby hole area, and that way if
That
it
is
goes
that's
off.
a great way to store lipos. I
Mhm.
have a bat safe box over here where I store
Mhm.
most of my lipos. Not all the time. Shame on me, but
Right.
I do have a bat safe box that's the main thing I have. But the problem is it's not big enough for all my batteries.
Yeah.
I need to buy a
Um,
second one or
mhm.
just get a gun cabinet.
Or a right, or a metal gun case, or a bullet case, metal ammo case.
Yeah. The
The
problem
ammo
with the
case.
metal ammo cases is unless you put a vent in it, if you were to have a lipo fire and it was sealed, it could actually act like a giant grenade
Yep.
Oh
because
yeah.
the
Like a
pressure can
pressure
build
cooking
up
bomb. Yep.
and just
Yeah.
explode, and then you got
Release.
shrapnel.
So leave the lid kind of unsealed a little.
Yeah.
Or
Leave
we'll
the
pull
lid
the
like a
rubber
little
gasket
crack.
out from around it. There's a
Oh,
rubber
that's
Yeah.
what
gasket in a 50
that's
in a
what
50
Marty
cal
told me.
can. You just remove the rubber gasket. Just
That's
pull
what
it completely
Exactly.
out.
That way the smoke and stuff can come out, but the fire will stay contained and it won't build up pressure.
Right, Marty. That's what you were telling me that day before I left, or the day before I left. Yeah, on the phone that night, I think. Yeah,
I
you told
started
me.
to
Something like that.
put some of my stickers over on my I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I started putting some of my stickers on my Craftsman my toolbox here. I've got a double decker toolbox. I started putting stickers over there, but I'm like, man, I kind of like to have everything behind me. So
Right there,
I may end
yeah.
up just doing a whole nother wall. It just filled with stickers.
See, I keep trying
Problem
to
with
figure
that
out what
is
to do with mine because I
I'm
don't
gonna
want
end
to.
up saying, oh, I've got all this space for more drones now.
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
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 Well, hey, fill it up. Fill it up
Then you
with
start
more.
getting ordering your own merch. It's like a little flag there, and you saw my PhatPastor bags that I brought with me to the race. So
Oh
I like
yeah.
them if nobody else does. But speaking
I
of
do.
merch, let me get to something right here. You guys, check out this right here. There's let me put a link in the
Oh,
description to this.
Andy's. I still got some amazing.
Copy.
I had to pay
And
that guy. You know how much I had to pay that guy to model that shirt?
50 cents.
It was expensive, man. I mean, it took me out of commission for like a week.
Oh wow!
But
Wow, that
what
had to be.
I can tell you that it's a good, high quality shirt. Uh, so it's not like some other places, Teespring, we won't say.
Yeah, it's definitely not. I've
And
gotten some positive feedback from a couple other people as well. Are really happy with the quality.
Quality,
so
yeah.
what we're going to do is I am going to give away. If you're in the U.S., won't cost you anything. What you'll do if you win, you will email me. I'll put the email where you can get in touch with me. I will order the shirt, and then when it comes in, you'll send me your address, and I will ship it to you at no cost if you're in the U.S. If you are outside the U.S. And you want to pay for shipping, you can. Just let me know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to
That's
start.
awesome, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to start a giveaway.
Yeah, it is.
So
Bless
we got
you.
10 minutes.
I'm pretty sure that they do have international shipping too. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. All
International
right.
shipping.
I'm not
Well,
sure what the rates are, but I'm pretty sure they do it.
I might be able to drop ship
You,
it to you. Also, I'll check on that with this company. But a raffle has started. So what you'll do is it will tell you that you need to do exclamation point EDrone. See it there in the use exclamation point capital
Oh, there
E
you go. Cool.
lowercase DRONE. When you put that in, like BRAD did here, yeah, people are starting to do it. Your names will get entered. You can keep typing it. You'll only get entered once. But
go.
so if you don't know if you got it right, see like it'll tell you like right here. It says 8-bit. You received 1 ticket. That means you're in. Right now,
Oh,
BRAD
cool.
and 8-bit is the only ones in. So type that. It needs to be a capital E.
Okay, it has to be exactly like. Oh no, actually, he did lowercase in it, and it gave him a ticket.
It did. Okay.
I guess it's
Cool.
not case specific.
Maybe it's not.
That's
Gross.
Cool.
What's gross about the shirt? I'm sure he's talking about something else. So,
Hey, what's up,
yeah.
Michael? Good to see you, Night Train.
So this is going to go on for 10 minutes, and at the end of the 10 minutes, it'll quit taking tickets, and then we'll draw live here. This is part of the what used to be called Melon that I use. It's Streamlabs now. So yeah.
He said,
And I'm
8-bit said, I'm gross.
oh yeah.
Uh,
Yep. I am gross is one of our viewers. So
yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 He is
and
right.
I like it how
Sure.
this company has even big boy sizes, so up to 6XL. So
Yes, that was a
there's
need.
I am gross.
That I
Not
was
right.
not going to go with a company that did not have larger sizes, as I'm a larger person myself.
Yep.
So not
I'm a
having large
full-figured
sizes
gal.
was not going to happen.
Right. Right.
Train is
So
here.
yeah, we're going to let this cook for a little while, and we will be giving that away in honor of our guest tonight. And stick around, there may be
I
another
appreciate it. Thank you so
T-shirt
much.
being given away that's actually being advertised by both people on the screen also. So we'll give away a PhatPastor one also later. This one right now is for
Calvin peeing on remote ID right there when you get
that's
to
right.
meet up.
Boom. There it is.
You imagine like if it's some random world, which would probably never happen, but can you imagine if like some FAA person did come to a meetup and you got his shirt on and be like, oh yeah, check this out, man.
Well, you remember
We're
when
just
Barkley
peeing on you.
you remember when Barkley pulled up? He was in that white car and it had lights at Minefield and he had sirens, but it was like yellow lights or something, and it's like whoop
Oh,
whoop, and it
yeah,
was a
yeah.
solid white car. I was like,
Yeah, that would be funny. That would be
That
funny.
was great.
Speaking of that, I might have something else to give away tonight.
Oh wow. Well, guys, I want to take this time real quick and ask you to please smash that like button. PhatPastor has been very generous tonight and doing some awesome giveaways. And just make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're subscribed to his channel. Check him out. Got some awesome content and live streams. You not want to miss out. So definitely make sure you show that love, spread the love.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you a lot.
Ken made the FAAQ shirts.
Yes. Are you talking about these?
Yeah, he loves that sticker, Ken did.
These
Yes.
right here?
Remote Pilot 101. Yeah,
That's
this
right.
this you probably
Yeah.
can't see it, but this is a vinyl. This is what Ken put on his police car.
Oh yeah. I've got.
This is a good
Yeah.
size remote ID vinyl.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Casey, you confusing people. I'm trying to show them remote ID. You showing them Remote Pilot 101.
Sorry. Sorry. Oops.
So we'll be giving one of these away later, and if the chat goes well, we may be giving one of these away.
There you go.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
lick the like button, smash the
Yeah.
like button, kick it,
Right,
punch it.
lick it, kick it, smack it. Right. What was that thing called from the '90s that the kids did? It's like bump it, flip it, smack it, whatever. It was kind of like
man,
Simon
you're
from
really
the
gonna
days.
get me going. It was a Bop It.
Bop it, might have been.
I think it was Bop It.
Bop it. It was Bop it.
That's my final answer. Bop It.
Thanks, East Coast.
East Coast Thrills, yeah, I was about to say. And 8-bit says, wait, I was told to lick the like button.
That's right. I think if you lick it, it'll still acknowledge. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Especially if 8-bit licks it. It definitely will. Yeah, it should pop up if people. That's another thing I'm watching. If people subscribe, it should put a little graphic up and let us know when people subscribe. Oh,
He, B-Rad says, hit the like button 3 times already.
Awesome.
You just-
That's right.
Wait, that means it's back off again, right? No, on, off, on. Okay, yeah, it's back on.
Yeah,
we
it's
go.
still on.
Wait.
Still on.
Yeah, so just
You
don't
said
do it 4.
4.
Don't do it at 4.
He'd have to do it 5.
2,
That's right.
3.
Right. The raffle is still going on. So if you're new here, just put the exclamation point EDrone, and the bot will keep reminding you. That's one thing I guess they're good at. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
cool, man. I'm really liking the interface from what I'm seeing for this Streamlabs.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
I think you
And
said it's a little bit cheaper than the StreamYard.
$10 a month.
That
awesome.
I'm gonna have to look into this because yeah, StreamYard's
Yeah.
been getting
Yeah.
kind of a little bit expensive. So
Janky.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit much for me for what they offered.
right.
So Yeah.
And it looks like it has all the same features. It's got the giveaway tool, and it's got all the custom, logos you can add and back screens and all that.
Oh yeah, and it'll all run like OBS if you want it to.
Really?
Yeah, but this is Talk Studio for Streamlabs. It's not Streamlabs OBS, but you can use it like if you wanted to use it for like OBS. But then when you was going to have visitors on the Talk Studios, and that's where Streamlabs and other stuff make it so much easier. I've talked with quite a few YouTubers that have people on regular, and it's a problem for them.
I actually don't use OBS. I looked into it, and I was like, "Holy cow, man! It's like a whole nother hobby."
Yeah. I've been trying to use it for my recordings and build videos.
I've had some bigger names tell me since I'm on an iMac. I do mine on an iMac. That, especially if you want to have guests regular, because you have to use Skype, or you have to use Discord or something, and you're depending on a third party apps, video, and all of that. Where all of this for EDrone to come on, I just sent him a link.
Insane.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. I am gross for the super chat. But for him to come on, you just click a link, and we, for members, after the guests are off and things like that, members can, on the Discord under the membership, every night link is posted. So the last stream we were 6.5 hours. I started having a kidney stone attack, and I was working on fixing a drone or a car. I don't remember what it was. I was soldering something up, and I thought, well, I can either sit here and hurt by myself, or I'll just keep the stream running, and that's why I got people talking to me and all of that. So I just started working on stuff,
wow.
on my bench cam, and and kind of jumping back a little bit. You can get the free version of this that does everything and more that StreamYards did, but you got the watermark.
I see. Yeah.
And the without for the extra money. Let's see.
Now, is that the $10 a month? You can get your own custom logos, right?
That's correct, and you can add from the host standpoint. You can add multiple cameras. Yeah. This is not a separate stream. This is not nothing. This is just my bench cam.
Oh, and nice.
All of your guests can share their screen, and so I like it. It works well for me. So yeah.
Yeah, I see the share button. Yeah, on mine. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah. So that's, but yeah. So I just went on, and part of being in the membership on the channel is you get that link, and we've had people come on. I enjoy helping people with their problems. That's kind of how I got, like you, is kind of what made me want to go more into it, is helping people. And we've bound drones to what's that called? Deviation protocol.
Deviation,
old stuff.
Yes.
And
yeah, because I mean, honestly, like my goal, and it's probably the same as a lot of others. Maybe not everybody, but my goal, honestly, is to spread the wonderful news of FPV to as many people as possible, because it's such a helpful and rewarding hobby.
Oh, it is.
It really is. And the camaraderie that you share with your fellow pilots, it's like no other. I've been in a lot of hobbies, and this one, to me, has been very rewarding. It's therapeutic. It's a real escape. Like when I put the goggles on, it is a out of body experience. I really do feel like I am escaping from everything in that moment. I'm only focused on my flying at the time. And it's just so helpful for on so many different levels. If you suffer from pain, even like physical pain,
Yes.
You can put the goggles on, and I know it will help. It might not.
It
It might
does.
not completely
It
cure
does.
it, but I know it will
don't,
help.
but it helps.
It ain't going to make it worse, and
It
maybe
does
a neck
help.
pain. If it's neck pain,
Yeah.
you might, because
Yeah.
Because we
how many of
Exactly.
we
how
have
long does it
run
take
to
the
the
average
and it helps.
FPV? How long does it take the average FPV pilot to get past the Stevie Wonder stage when they're flying? You
It
know?
does.
And
I'm still there a little bit.
I was one of the bad ones that always looked straight down. It just
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
straight
Oh,
down. Why don't
Yeah.
I have any signal? Oh yeah, I need to pick my head up.
well, mine was worse because mine wasn't looking straight down. Mine was I'd start flying and I'd fly by myself and I'm about to fall over. I'm leaning about as far back as I can lean. I think it's good why I got this belly. It works as a good counterbalance from leaning
Yeah.
way back. So
And people will often ask me, man, oh, do you sit? Do you stand? And honestly, I can do both. If I had to say, is there a preference? I I prefer to sit personally, normally if I have a comfortable seat. Now, if there's not a comfortable seat, then I prefer to stand.
now my wife would prefer me to sit because I'm almost 50 and I have chronic kidney stones and I've learned what a hamper is, but there's still times I can't hit the toilet. Oh, we're talking about something different though. Love all the drone family and really love going to the meetups around the country.
And
They're all
that's what it
family
feels like.
reunions.
Like it,
Yep.
it feels like you're going to go meet these complete strangers that you've never talked to in person, you've never seen in person, and it's like you meet them, and it's like you feel like your family. Like you feel like
Yes.
this could be like a
Mhm.
brother.
Yep.
This could be like
Yes.
my uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
And
it's like
For
the
real.
family you never had.
right. And
For
I
real.
think,
God given.
I like to use it, it's part of what I do. Um,
Hey,
I
Chris.
think FPV can be we can we can learn so much from it.
Oh,
I've got,
always learning.
several friends in FPV. Well, just in my life in general. I'm not one of these kind of people that if you disagree with me, you can't be my friend. But that's another subject. But so many people in FPV that are atheists and whatever, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The things that unite us are greater than the things that divide us. And I don't come. I don't. When I'm going to an FPV thing, I don't care who you sleep with. That's your problem. Where you flying? That's what I want to know. What are you flying? How long you been in the hobby? And do you have a sticker? So,
You got a sticker? I need a sticker.
Honestly, I mean, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. FPV has actually made me a better person.
Mhm.
I have learned so many life lessons about
Mhm.
myself in my journey with FPV. Number one,
Thanks for the sub.
sometimes I've always been hard headed. I've always been stubborn. I've always been, no, I'm going to fix this now. I'm going to get this straightened out now. And I have learned through time and time again and failure after failure that sometimes it's better to just walk away, calm down, get cool and
Mhm.
collected, and then come back with a fresh pair of eyes, fresh mindset, and those frustrating moments that you feel are never going to come to an end, somehow they miraculously get solved. And you're like, oh, that's all I needed to do. I just needed to walk away. Just take a
Yep.
break.
Mhm. And it helped me through a time, man, with that head injury. I want to get all into that tonight, but just being able to sit down, because what I was doing that was helping me, this very bench right here, not this thing, but about right here, I had a reloading um, for ammo. I reloaded and I would just sit for hours, one bullet, just a single reloader, one bullet at a time, and I would reload just because I had to do something when my brain wasn't right. And a lot of people said it ain't never been right, but it was really not right then. And FPV, it helped. It helped so much. That's why I say rise up with FPV. Just get away from it. Get away from the noise and the junk. And
now, don't get me wrong. Like, a lot of people will say they're on one side or the other when it comes to drones. Oh, I'm FPV. Oh, I'm camera. But to me, I love all drones, man. They all have their place in my life. Yeah, there may be some that I like more than others, but at the end of the day, sometimes I need a break from FPV. I know I can go hard at it, and it may look like it's all consuming, but every once in a while, when I send that Mavic up, and I'm just enjoying just a nice little cruise, and I'm relaxed, and it helps. Like just something different, something to change things up, and I love all drones, man. I love toy drones. I'll take, toy drones and fly them in line of sight,
Oh yeah.
And sometimes flying line of sight, man, that's a whole nother hobby in itself.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah. See, I lost that ability even with the airplanes, and that's what made FPV so great. Because if you fly line of sight, flying away from you is okay till you turn around and come back to you. Left
The
becomes
orientation,
right,
man, it
right
messes with
becomes
me
left.
too.
Yeah.
You're not the only one.
And I had it flying old stick-built planes, and boy, head injury that was gone. It's just like somebody erased it from my life. But
and acro,
FPV,
man, for me, has always been a struggle. Line of sight acro.
But when you put those goggles on, left's always left.
Oh
Yes.
Up's always up, unless you fly 3D, which we're not going to go into that.
yeah.
Yeah, whole nother hobby right there. Whole nother genre.
Yeah.
I think somebody was asking him a question because this wouldn't be for us. I think this would be more of a GPS type quad. He's saying, I have a question, period. Can I get a splitter and attach it at the same time with my remote and my solid state drive so I can offload pictures and videos and not fill up the SD card on the drone? I'm assuming he's speaking about a Phantom or something.
The issue with that is when you're doing the local onboard recording, that's going to be on the drone itself. So unless you have a long tether, and I mean super long, I don't see that being a viable option.
There is one way that might work, but I don't know that if he is talking about camera drones or autonomous drones. I don't know, but I was just talking about this tonight. The Wi-Fi module in the HDzero will broadcast to your phone.
Yeah.
And you can record on your phone what you're seeing in your goggles real time.
Okay.
Or
so that would be
or anything that a laptop. If the laptop's hooked to a solid state drive, so you could technically have your laptop running there beside you, broadcasting a Wi-Fi signal and recording it. But that's HDzero or analog.
Analog. Yes. You can.
So,
awesome.
I mean, some of the camera drone types, some of them don't have onboard recording. They actually just record back through like the app that they use onto your device that you're using. So if that's the case, then yeah, you could just tether that, I'm sure, right from your device.
Right. Yeah, like what's that called? The cable that you run from them. It's called a OBS cable. Is that what it's called?
OBS.
Yeah.
And
you
yes,
might be able to split that. I've done it from the HDzero. The FR Sky screen. I've done that before out here on the porch. You can actually take the HDMI out on this and split it, run it to a computer screen, and then run it to a capture card that's you share it as a screen on your live stream. So you can do it that way.
Yeah. He's got an Air 2.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a different bird.
let me show you what I got for.
I figured that would be
I got to start bringing
more
meetups, and I always forget to bring it. But I'm going to try and start being better about bringing it. But this is basically just a Amazon high definition little screen here that has HDMI in. And all I did was I
Put the
attached
module
my
on the back.
HDzero VRX here,
Yep.
my old
Right.
HDzero VRX,
Oh
a couple
yeah.
of Omni antennas here.
Simulator mine.
And all you got to do is hook this up to a 3S LiPo. And bam, you can sit here and I can show you any of my HDzero flights real time.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
something
that's cool.
something I'm working on here. The same thing. Looking for a
Like
screen
almost
that
like
actually
a ground station.
If
Yeah.
and when I ever get some HDzero goggles, that's what I'll use my old VRX for too.
Yeah.
So I can
So-
show my stream.
I got the monitor, I think, for like $50.
Yeah.
I have to look on Amazon,
Oh.
and that's a 7-inch monitor.
You know what? I'm not. I would say.
Looked like it
probably
was. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
have to
I'm
pick one
looking
of
at-
those up.
I know you have to measure it diagonal. It might even be closer to 8 inches.
Yeah.
I can
'Cause-
send you the link though.
Because my review on the HFR Sky, one of the highest views on my channel, it's not good because I just checked just last week. There's not an update. FR Sky has not updated their screen to match all of the new updates with HDzero. So
I to be honest, I'm not surprised at
you
all.
don't get any OSD.
FR
you get the
Sky does not want you using anything else with their equipment other than FR Sky.
That's right. That's right. So
That's
I
the
don't
way
recommend
they've
it.
Drawn a line in the sand, and
That's it.
they did.
Well, let me take a moment here and let's do this giveaway. That's
Good luck,
done.
guys.
And look, there's only 8 of you. 8 out of 15 of you watching. Only 8 of you signed up, but it's done now, and I will do this. So you can see here your names.
Nice.
Sweet.
That's just a little Google thing.
Yeah.
Let's
pretty
go
cool.
ahead and I'm gonna hit pick the winner right here,
Yeah.
so you guys can see that. Here we go.
Share that
Got
out.
I am gross. I am gross is the winner.
Hey, congratulations.
Congrats.
I am gross is the winner. So it'll show
Awesome,
up
man.
there in the chat also. So I am gross. If you will you?
Yeah, he's still here. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Here we go. You can contact me there. You see it scrolling across the top. Those of you that have joined the channel tonight, I don't have you up there. It'll be next week. But got the membership, and then you can see my contact information, PhatPastor, fpv@gmail.com. Message me there with your size, color, and okay, let me do this.
I think it's so cool that you are a pastor and you're in FPV, man. I gotta say,
awesome.
I'm sure there's got to be another one somewhere, but to be honest, I've never heard or seen any other pastor that's into FPV and is on YouTube. You are the only one that I know of.
Well, thank you. And I won't say tear my church up, but we turn it upside down for drone races too. So
That's awesome,
it's
man.
inside,
So cool.
and it's really a blessing to me, because I am all about community.
Yeah.
When I host a race, if I don't get to race, I'm all right with that. That means that there's enough pilots there that I have to stay so busy that I don't get to race. But yeah, I've got people from all over the world. I got people from overseas.
I can't wait.
Australia, places that message me
That's so cool.
and consider me their pastor. Yeah. And I've never laid physical eyes on them. And that they will message me and stuff with problems or just whatever.
And
so,
I took a lot of time at Minefield and helped out.
Yeah, I remember that.
Helped out Fuse FPV, and him and his mom they felt bad about taking so much of my time, and they kept offering me money, and I'm like, guys,
No.
I can't accept any money because the joy for me is seeing you get this quad back in the air. Like that's
Yep.
what gives me joy, helping
Yeah.
people and getting people back in the air and having people have a good experience with FPV, and that's the mission for me.
Mhm. That
However, whenever we can help people, because
that
this hobby can be extremely difficult
Yes.
and frustrating. And
that
I just don't want to see anybody walk away from this hobby frustrated and give up on it without having, a good fair share of help first.
right.
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 Um,
That's my basis to EDrone. Uh,
Yeah, I wouldn't be where I am without help. I
yeah.
wouldn't, not at all. And now I
It's
get to try to help
it's
others.
yeah. It's my catchphrase. Rise up and meet me in the air. That means I want you to be flying too. But also got another meaning that some people know a little bit more about. But it's one of those dual meaning things. But what I need you to do, I am gross, is pick you a color and let me know, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to order it, and I'll see if I can drop ship it to you. If I can't, I'll wait for it to come in. So I need your size from small to 6XL, and whatever color. So if we start here, let's just call that number 1, that pink, and or if it's something black, but if I'm a man, so I don't, which I'm assuming you are too with I am gross. I don't. Pumpkin is a fruit. It's so I don't understand. I don't really know the difference between some of these blues. It's just a lighter blue, an army green.
Man, there's
You
so
know,
many colors.
yeah,
Blue, light blue,
And
dark blue,
if anybody would like to purchase a shirt,
medium blue.
yes,
I'm sure we can get the link dropped in the
yes,
chat.
Oh
yes,
yeah.
yeah. I did.
There's
I'll do it again.
multiple styles, there's all kinds of sizes, and anything that's purchased at the store, any proceeds that I get from that, I put right back into my channel giveaways. So it goes right back out into the community in the form of giveaways. I do giveaways on my Discord server as well as my YouTube channel and on a live stream. So, you know, if you'd like to get some swag and help support, my channel and the community for giveaways, that'd be greatly appreciated. And I
The
do
ladies.
appreciate all you guys and all your support.
Oh yeah.
You got the ladies. You got the hoodies.
Oh yeah.
You got the tote bag. You got the coffee mug.
Oh, we gotta
You
get
got the
that.
lady hoodie.
There's something for
Man,
everybody.
you got
I
like
promise.
4 or 5 different models, don't you? I mean, you can afford all
Oh,
these models.
if you go to the main page, you'll see all of the logos on all of the shirts. I did myself. Like I made all the logos for all of my t-shirts. Not just the EDrone ones, but if you look at the main page where all the stuff is,
Yeah, I'll have to
all products,
reshare it. Yeah,
if you click on all products, it'll
yeah.
all of
I don't
those
think it'll let me go
designs I
back.
made.
We'll see. See if it lets us. Oh, it does.
There you
Okay.
go.
All right. Yeah.
Cool.
So we got that one. If
That's
you
the
ain't
actual
crashing, you
drone,
ain't
my
flying.
old drone. Yep.
I was
And I
telling
guess
Charlie that today on the way home. I said they say if you're not crashing, you're not flying.
just
And
That's
I've
send
right.
it.
only broke so many pairs of. And he's like, "Well, then you ain't flying."
That's right.
And they got them
That's
in
hilarious.
all the colors.
I told him on the way, and
Yep.
see that. That's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
So go and support him, help him.
Just send it.
Uh,
That is awesome, man. You got a lot of merch. Got
Yep.
us.
Stickers as well. It's
Yeah.
a good way, to help, promote the channel and you get a little bit of kickback that I can use to help fund giveaways because I like blessing people not only with help, but I like to be able to bless people, financially as well, whether it be,
Something
a
they
set
can
of
fly. Yeah.
props or a whoop or the more I get to come in, the more I can put back out. That's the goal, I want to be able to bring in
Yeah.
more to do like bigger giveaways. This past last month, I actually gave away a RadioMaster Pocket. So somebody won a RadioMaster Pocket from my Discord server, Grand, actually, a
That
buddy
is
of
awesome.
mine. And yeah, I want to continue to keep, doing bigger and better giveaways and blessing the community. So you guys blessed me, and I just want to turn right around and bless you right back.
Yep.
That is amazing, and that's great. I love that, and I can't wait to be able to be doing that too. That is definitely a main motive in my book too, and on my channel as well. I'm all about that.
Yes, Green
Yes,
Hornet.
no.
We did not stream the last one, just because we had a few pilots that were going to be there and things happened, and we really didn't have enough. It was mostly noobs there, but yes, we do stream our TinyWhoop races, and
That's
even
awesome.
the we're going to start streaming the FPV Pocket Pro-Am.
Yes.
That's something I
can show
don't
you
think
some
you
of
know
that.
anything about. I haven't told you anything about that, have I, EDrone?
I don't think so, but I'm definitely intrigued.
It's
I'd love to see a like a whoop race in the church or something. That'd be awesome.
well, this here, I'm gonna slide this. I don't even have my bench camera on anymore.
B-Rad is out. B-Rad's going to bed, everybody.
All right. Good evening, brother. Good evening. Are you familiar with the little FPV cars?
Hey, take care, B-Rad. Good to see you, man. Was so thankful I got to meet you in person, man. Hoping to do it again real soon.
Yep.
Yes.
Definitely.
Oh, the RC, the FPV little RC cars.
Yeah, the little
Yeah,
diatone
so
ones,
cool.
or the S&Ts is what they're called. These here.
Yeah, they are so cool. So cool.
Oh yes,
Matter of fact, Nick Burns actually was sharing. There was a website I shared on my community tab as well, where someone, I don't know if it was you or someone else, was actually using these cars and taking them to children's hospitals.
Yeah, that's Jesse Perkins.
That's it, Jesse Perkins. Yep.
That is FPV Outreach.
Yes,
you can get the stickers
That's it.
with that. But we host little races. Let me see if I can.
Yeah,
let me see if I can show you my short here.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I want to see this. You got like little tracks for them.
Yeah.
And
Oh man, that's so cool.
I've got a little bit of footage too, or quite a bit of footage, like we were discussing earlier, that I haven't got to put up yet, of the race and of some of the car racing and all that. So yeah, as soon as I get it in there, I'm gonna try to get some up in there by tomorrow. I'm gonna try.
I have another hobby that's coming down the pipeline for me.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
What,
I went ahead
is it 3D printing
and jumped on a 10th scale RC drift car.
Oh god.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. There's a couple tracks not too far from me, indoor drift tracks, and
right.
I got a race run. You know, same thing I did with the drones. You know, start out getting something that's already kind of ready to go, so to speak.
Is it FPV?
Let me.
Oh, I'm gonna make it FPV for sure.
Oh yeah. That's
For
awesome.
sure.
For sure.
This,
yes.
This is a little short that I did. I don't think I can show you. It won't be able to play it. You can see the track. That's just 3 Walmart tables.
Oh, that's so cool.
Laid out, and the rubber ducky and the bowling pins. I stole them out of the children's church, and just so that you've got something taller other than the black and white and the black and yellow and the red and white before you. And right over here, you'll see the FPV view. That's from the from the Hawkeye 4 Eyes, but we're only racing 2 of it, and I'll play it because.
So are the sides raised up so it can't fall off?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh,
yeah.
And look, if you see how slow they're going, I don't know how good you can see. You see how slow?
But in FPV, it's way bigger.
Yeah, but we'll see when I do it, it stops it. Yeah. For whatever reason.
I can.
I can see it. Oh, that's so cool.
So, yeah, and Casey's got some footage he'll probably share. Let me share my screen. He's got some better footage of it. But the thing about this has opened up FPV to a whole nother demographic.
Absolutely.
We had 8-year-olds. We had like a 9-year-old with autism driving that around on the track. It's got guardrails, so you're really not going to go. We just had one rule because it's got a worm drive in it. you don't put them on the floor because that won't handle getting stepped on. And
Yeah.
the little cameras snap on with magnets.
Oh, it's just a
And
magnet.
Yes.
now, if you're going to do more than 2 of these, 3 of these together, I had to pull these cameras off and put race because they only come with A-band, which was so. When you take the camera apart, you see that it's a full 40-channel camera that they've just blocked everything but A-band. And why? I don't know why they did that.
Is
But,
the VTX built into the camera itself? Like, is it all in one unit?
Yep.
It
It's
is
like
an all-
yeah. I'll show you one of the ones that I altered.
I've always wondered what
even
that was.
It even has all the lights for the channels, but it skips them. It's wild.
Can you
It
buy
works.
like just that?
Yep. You can buy just the car with the radio.
No, I mean just the camera and VTX setup.
Oh
Right
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah. They sell them all the time on Amazon. I put these on airplanes, like those little micro airplanes behind me. And I'll show you this. I just Velcro them on. If you get into wings or anything, it's perfect little VTX. You just plug a battery into it, and
Oh, that's so cool.
This one goes up to 200 milliwatts, and it's
that'd be perfect for like a RC drift car.
Yeah, you could put it right on top of it.
I would love to do HDzero, but I just don't want to have like, the VTX and then the camera. It's just a lot of components to have. But that right there, it's all in one. Like if they made like that would be cool if they could do HDzero in an all-in-one unit like that.
Yeah, it would be.
That would be cool.
On my planes, on the leading edge of the wing, I've got a little strip of Velcro. So when I want to fly my airplanes FPV, I just Velcro this on there, throw a battery, plug it right up. Now you kind of have to watch it because there's no OSD in these.
I put mine right in the driver's seat of the car, so it would look like I'm driving inside the car.
I have a Jeep. I have a Jeep on the wall over here. Let's see if I can show you that. See the Jeep right here by
I think I'm just gonna do analog. That'd be way simpler.
There's that Jeep right there has FPV sitting in the driver's seat.
That's
so
cool.
you look through the window of it, past the steering wheel.
Oh,
because you can buy like the actual like scale drift car seats and put it right in the car, and you can just stick the camera right to that.
Just a piece of foam. Yep, just get you a piece of foam as a shock. You'd be surprised at what a little piece of foam does as a shock absorber.
Now,
and most of these little VTXs come with it. A little piece of foam packed it in the box.
Yeah, I love it. I keep.
And you can get them right on Amazon.
Yep.
Oh,
I gotta check those out. I gotta give me a couple. How much they run for like the whole setup?
About $15 to $18 for the camera.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yep.
Are they pretty durable? Like they hold up to, I guess, a bunch of stuff.
Mini crashes.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is I put them on airplanes, which airplanes are inherently not very durable. So, I mean, nothing like, so I don't know if it'll hold up like our quads where you roll it, across the yard and straighten your props out and it's ready to go. I don't know if it's that durable, but you're putting it on a car. You're not going to be doing a whole lot. And on that Jeep,
well, that was really intrigued me about the drifting cars, because you're drifting most of the time on a track. Yeah, you might bump the walls and stuff every now and then, but it doesn't seem like it's nowhere near as destructive, as like full-fledged like RC like car racing.
Well, see, that's the thing. I call this the little cars that I'm doing. I call it FPV Pocket Pro-Am. If you remember the Nintendo game RC Pro-Am back in the day, and the object was to run your buddies off the track. So part of this is when we're racing, and Casey might have some footage of it. We'll show it in a little bit. If you see your buddy in front of you, if you can just nudge them right here in the back, it's just like
kind of like knock them off to the side.
You'll pit them just like cops will do it. It'll like when you see a cop do a pit maneuver and it spins them out, and it's
so cool.
It's great. I just love it, and it's actually it's a lot of fun, and it's an easy way to get people into FPV, get them used to the goggles.
A little servo on it with a little piece of banana peel. and flip a switch and drop a banana peel.
Right.
And you got like Mario Kart Wars.
Right. And if you build you a drift track, you need to go on to TinyWhoop and pick you up some of these to tell you which way to turn.
Oh, I like that.
Check it out.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I was telling my buddy Sepher, he's kind of the one that kind of got me interested in the drift cars.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling him, I'm like, dude, we need to get in with these guys so we can bring our like little 65 millimeter whoops and like my little toothpicks and go in there and chase these drift cars as well, FPV, man, because that would make for some amazing footage.
Oh yes, yes.
Put that on it, chase them right up.
Did you end up getting you one, Pastor? Did
Yeah,
you
I've
have
had
one before we met?
Yeah, I've had it for a while. I've just not done my review on it yet. So.
I love that camera. It's really cool. I mean, I
liked your review. It was really great.
I'm so happy with it, and it's perfect for my 3.5-inch stuff. Perfect. Perfect.
Oh yeah, 3.5 inch.
Yeah, that my center race. I'm trying to get Casey printed up a few prints, but you know he's new to printing, so I think I'm gonna go with Fly High FPV. I think
Dave did say he's got some prints.
Yeah, this is the Insta 360 regular, the one. And
it's gotten a little bit bigger since then.
Yeah, it won't come close to fitting in it, but he's gonna print me some up.
I was able to take a Instago 2 mount that I had for my 3.5-inch, and I cut the top of it and was able to use a combination of a small lipo strap to hold it on there for the time being.
Yeah, if I can get a better file, a better STL, I could print a perfect one. Really good one. I printed him 2 really good ones, but they don't fit the mount right.
Oh, this is so cool, man. This is so cool.
Actually, let me go back here. I got a actual FPV footage. I'm trying to find it.
Oh, it looks so fun. The little thing zip too.
And that's just construction paper that we put down on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that now. Now, what did you use for the stripes? Legos?
No, those are actually guardrails that you can order on Amazon. They're in the description. I have them down in the description.
Oh wow!
So and the black and white.
Our own freaking drift track with those.
Yep. Yeah. And
how much do they run? I guess they come in like a set of 100 or something.
60 or 120. I think it's 60 pieces for like $14 or something. I think what you're seeing right there is four sets. That's one set of the black and white. So as much of the black and white that you see, that's how much you get in one set. And there's other guardrails that I have, but these, the black and white and the black and yellow, they're sturdy enough that the cars don't push them too much. The cars will push them, but the other ones, the cars push them way too much. It almost reminds me of like
slot car racing, but FPV style.
Yep. Yeah, and you know the little cars have got turn signals. The back of them, so you can see what we're doing here. You know, we put the sock monkeys and the little kids. All this stuff we stole it right out of the children's church or borrowed it.
I'm sure the kids just love it.
And you can see the little guy, the
and that's when
12-year-olds
say, "Hey, it doesn't stop here, guys. You can wear these goggles and fly in the air like Superman."
Mm-hmm. And these twin boys that are racing, Jeff, he's a newcomer.
Look at that little thing.
They're learning FPV, and this is just helping them get better with the goggles and all of that. And that'd be me all the way on the left, head straight down. Yeah. And
I don't know what it is about when I put goggles on, my head just wants to look straight down. I don't know why. And it feels like I'm looking straight.
Right.
Straight the whole time.
What it is. I have to stop for a minute and say, okay, head up.
Right.
Move your head up.
Hold my head.
Head up.
And if you move
then you
your
start
head,
flying HDzero, and you start getting static, and you're like, turn to the right. There you go. There we go. That's a better signal. So,
yeah, exactly.
So, and what we do, there's no timer on these. It's just the first one to complete 5 laps.
Oh, here we go.
And you count off as you go around, and I got a roll of black and white duct tape from Walmart
Man,
for the
an
finish
analog
line.
camera, that looks fantastic.
Oh, that's what I was about to
Yeah.
say. They almost look HD. Actually, that's
Wow.
one of the lesser looking ones. Most of the others
Like,
actually
that
look
looks
better
really
than that.
freaking good, man.
Does.
Like, look how
Mhm.
clear that is.
Yeah. And it
Very.
feels like when you're in the goggles, it feels like you're going like so fast.
Yes,
Oh,
and
it,
he's
it
actually
looks
got
like you're going
he's
way
actually
fast.
he's actually got the speed turned down right now. It
Yeah.
actually goes faster than this.
I'm totally
Way
buying
faster.
like 3 or 4 of these and putting them in all my RC cars.
Look at it. Look
There's
right here.
there's links. There's affiliate links in the description if people want to buy those. It's no cost to you.
Where? Which video? This video?
All of my live streams
All of
Okay.
them, yes.
since this come out,
I'm
it'll
gonna
be in
buy
this
them
one.
from your links,
All right,
and
there
I'm
you
gonna
go.
put it. I'm gonna put one in my drift car when it gets here, and I'm gonna put the other ones. I got
And
an
then-
RC boat I could put it on.
Mhm. And if you want to get kids involved, you can get them with goggles and everything,
Mhm. Yeah.
and then put your extra FPV stickers on them.
Yeah.
PhatPastor FPV, your EDrone FPV
Well, see,
stickers.
that's why the box goggles were so popular when they first came out. They had so much real estate to put stickers on.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And after this race, I was putting 9-year-olds
Is this you
and
racing here,
12-year-olds.
Pastor?
I am. That's
Man,
me
you're
actually.
doing pretty dang good.
Well, I was racing against the twins, and I don't remember which one it went. Though they look identical, that their attitudes are they're very different people. They're members of my church, and they're great young men. Their last name's Lee, so we call them Bruce and Jet. And that they were
There you go.
they were telling me that it's like, oh yeah, I schooled you the last race, and I was like, well, okay, let's race again, and I won't hold back on you. And the old man, if we played the audio on it, you will hear me like, yeah, old man just schooled you. You talking?
Now, how long do these? How long
About
does the battery last on one of
10 to
these, you guys?
15 minutes.
Yes.
You'd be surprised.
Really? That
They
long?
will run for 10 to
Forever.
15 minutes.
It's crazy.
Wow.
It's really crazy. It
And they
is.
turn really good, it looks like.
That's it. Yeah, you can sit and do donuts until you get yourself sick with them.
That's crazy.
The only thing
I had
is
no
just
idea
don't. You
they
see
were that
Casey push
fast,
it there.
these little things.
Don't push them
Don't.
because they got worm that will mess them up. So and
Oh, I see.
keep them.
So can you
keep
like
'em off the
rebuild them and
floor.
all that? Rebuild the gears and all that?
Yeah, I took them all apart the other night on the last stream, last Thursday
Well,
on
that
the
thing did a
stream.
freaking wheelie.
Yes, they do. They
They
do
do.
really. Oh, whoa. Next.
That's
They're
insane,
great,
man.
and
I didn't think something that small would have that much power. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yo, they knock over the bowling pins and everything.
Oh,
I guess
they
because they're
move the
so
track.
light, you just need just a little tiny motor, and it just does a lot.
Oh man, they are very surprising.
Power to weight ratio must be insane.
Yeah,
Yeah. And they run forever.
Wow.
Surprising. We thought like
Are they
5
brushed?
minutes.
Yes, they are
I would
brushed.
imagine. Yeah, I was imagining. I was saying they must be brushed, but man,
They are
look at the
brushed.
power on
But
those.
it's the newer
But the
type of brush
cars
motor.
with just the radio, and the cars, I think they're like $50-$60.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
I come up with this hoping that this will catch on with people. I don't know if you can see that because it's
I
small.
think you did an excellent job with the track
Oh.
layout. Like, how did you just do this off
We
the
worked-
cuff, or did you like
Yeah.
have a little bit of planning with how this track's laid out? 'Cause it looks really good.
He actually left and he was like, start doing the track, and then I started doing the track, and it was close, but when he got back, we threw our brains together and finished it up in just a few minutes.
Yeah, if you see
Wow.
the overview,
But it takes
you can
time.
save
I mean,
money to
took a little time, but not much.
to double your railing. So like if you
Oh, I
see the
see. 'Cause
overview,
you have
Yeah.
2 rail high.
We had to figure out a way to make it to where the railing was.
well, no,
all the way around.
it's not 2 rails high, but what I'm talking about is just right on the other side of that track to the right
Right. Yeah.
is another track. So you're using that one piece that stays in the center there at the right all the time. There's always another track right on the other side of it.
I got
So
it.
Okay, so there's actually 2 tracks built into that.
yeah. Well, no, it's go back and show him like an overview, Casey.
Okay.
which I didn't do it in the one that I showed, but
See. Right here. I
And
got
how
it.
about like the little finish line? Like, is that just
that
a piece
is
of
just
paper?
duct tape.
Or-
That is checkerboard duct tape from Walmart.
Oh, they have checkerboard duct tape. That's so cool.
Checkerboard duct tape at Walmart. Look at that one.
Man,
That's analog.
wow!
No,
Look
it's not.
how
No, it's
clear
not.
that
No,
is.
it's not. No, that's not.
No.
That's his thumb.
My
Oh, I was
thumb.
getting ready to say, holy
Let's
cow,
get out
man!
of that.
You got me wanting to go back to analog.
Yeah, no.
Dang.
Yeah.
Everybody just click buy one of those right now. So
Yeah, you just sold out. They're sold out now.
Yeah, they all bought out. Yes, every single one of them.
Like, man, I don't even see any lines, man.
Let's do a
Oh.
good overview of it. Let's see. I'm trying to find my.
And I can
Hold
see
on a
them moving a little bit when they get hit.
Mm-hmm. They do that. They will move. But the other ones, the ones that you'll see them in the links in the description. The red and white ones, they will move all over the place.
I guess you
And-
could use like Lincoln logs too. I guess, but maybe
Mhm.
Lincoln logs would be more expensive.
Yeah, it'd be
that
quite
one?
a bit more
Oh.
expensive. Because this is really like, if you think of the black and white on either side, you probably get 12, 14.
Well,
you see
if,
the red
if
and
you
white
have a
there.
3D printer, you could probably print them out.
Oh,
Yeah.
It'd take you a while, but
Yeah, you could. Yep.
that'd probably be the cheapest route.
Yeah, you could actually print up
good.
something. This was the course before we edited it and fixed it. You can see the red and white.
And I guess the analog's so good because there's really no obstacles, and you're not going
Yep.
far at all. So it's
Mm,
just it's right there the whole time. So it's going to be crystal clear.
Well,
Like
no, we did with the stock cameras. We did have quite a bit of stepping on channels and all of that. That's why I
yeah,
pulled those
okay.
out and put the ones with race band in them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
because
we had a bunch of that. A whole
Yeah.
bunch of that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find
Quite a
So
bit
so
of it.
you like 2 channels apart?
yeah, and you see the little screen there. It's got the 4 eyes with the antenna over there on the left. See
Mhm.
how that just moved when he hit that? That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
cheap guardrails. Back that back up if you can, Casey, a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Those red and white ones
The
right
red and
there,
white ones. Yep, I got
they do not. I mean, if you want to get technical and be like, don't crash. If you crash, but that can be fun in itself because
Boom.
as the course
Yeah.
goes
Oh,
on,
wow, I moved the whole thing.
yeah,
Yes.
as the course goes on, the whole race changes because no longer can you start bouncing off the, if you see now, that's pushed that right into the path. So,
Oh, I see. They almost have like they're conjoined and they move,
right. Yep.
whereas the other ones look like they don't have as much movement.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, he tried it right there. That ain't happening.
Yeah, they're
ain't
holding
happening.
up way more solid for that.
Yep.
I don't know how they would hold up to a 10th scale. They would probably move.
No. Yeah, they would move. They would move with something like that.
I need something a
Something
little
yeah.
heavier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I would like to make like my own drift track somewhere in my house.
Right.
I have carpet in the basement, but I would need to do quite a lot of rearranging. But
Have
would
you
love
seen
to have a little track?
Have you seen the rollout tracks that Amazon has for the diatone? Let me show
Do they
you.
have rollout tracks?
Yeah, let me show you this.
There's some third
Oh,
view.
and plan on going on with all of
Just
this.
when I
I
think
didn't have it
I'm
out,
not
but
going to be spending any more money on things.
It's silly. Somebody better tell him.
Your fiance is like, it's a good show, but you're not ever going back on that guy's show again.
No, good thing for me, she's passed out sleeping, so I'm pretty sure
All right.
she's not hearing any
Let
of
me-
this. So.
Let me hog the camera for just 1 minute. So I can
Nobody
show
tell
him
her.
this.
Shh.
Let me
So,
turn off the.
all right. Here,
Oh,
Oh, okay.
turbo
There you go.
race mat. This thing is like, well, I'll back up here.
let's see.
There you go. And then
Yo,
you can just,
oh,
if you want to,
cool.
I guess you could just add the bumpers to it.
Oh,
Yep.
that's neat.
Yep. And
That's cool.
this is made more for drifting. If you see how sharp the curves, the
Oh,
turns
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
So I can just throw this down in my floor and practice my little pocket FPV cars.
That's cool.
That's so
Hey,
cool.
we could figure out a way so that I could do it remotely. I could plug up my goggles to my computer, and then we could do it remotely. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Well, that's
I know.
the
And that's
thing.
We'll
just
use an
so cool
Arduino.
because, FPV
We'll
has
Arduino it.
opened up so many more, doors in all of RC hobby. You've got now FPV boat racing you can do, FPV, cars now.
Yeah. Pause that right there, Casey, when you get back over
So
it.
much more immersive.
Yeah. Yeah, you see there? Pause it back there.
Oh,
How
okay.
how the track is
Pause.
sharing.
Oh, I see that. Yes.
Yeah, how we move, how I pulled the track back closer so that we've got one set of guardrails going right there where that car set up, so that you're getting it from both sides, so you get extra coverage. And you see the end there; they just clip on each other like that. One end's female, one end's male, and you just click them right together.
There, yeah.
Interesting. And
Can't
are they
see
just
my mouse.
plastic?
Yep, that's just plastic. Yep, you
Hard
could
plastic.
3D print them. You could actually 3D print them, and they would be
yeah.
just fine.
Good.
Oh,
Think
yeah, for
about
sure.
that.
I'm sure
Somebody
they've
make the
got
file.
prints for them already, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty new. There's not a lot of people, into it and stuff yet. And I'm telling people that this little sticker here is it don't have PhatPastor on it anywhere. It's
I love
this
that.
is not this is not a proprietary. I mean, though I paid to have this made up, this
I
is
love the
not
name too, the Pocket.
I have
yeah
one of those
Pocket
over
Pro
here
M. Yeah,
somewhere.
and take it, steal it, make your own Pocket Pro Am races. Again, I'm about community. So if you guys get together and y'all take off and you're doing this stuff, then great.
What's so great about this is, like, not to be a bummer or whatever, but you don't have to worry about the FAA. You don't have to worry about anything. Like you can go. You don't even have to worry about if the weather's bad. You can do this all year long, anytime you want, without anybody infringing on you.
Yep.
Having to worry about any kind of ridiculous rules or regulations.
Yep. And right outside, you see the color. Right outside that room, we have a whoop track set up for a whoop race.
Oh, yeah. And of course, any whoop track inside, you don't have to worry about the FAA either.
And that's why I say I lean more toward, one, it's easier to put up, and two, there's no FAA, there's no, it's whoop. We don't indoors. We encourage no flight over 75 millimeter, so you don't need AMA. You're not going to break anything. We bounce 65, 75 millimeters off the chandeliers in the sanctuary. They're flying back into my guitar that's up on the stage. And
man, I need to go to one of your services, man. That sounds like an absolute blast.
This right here touched me so much.
You need a whooping for Jesus sticker.
Yeah, a whooping for Jesus. I need one.
Hey, that's great.
We had a young man coming for a little while, and hopefully they'll get to come back. They were coming, and he looked at his dad, and I don't know if you were there for this or not, Casey. I don't remember, but he said, Dad, he said, if church is this fun, why don't we go? Yeah. And I was like, oh man. And and his dad was like, good question, son. And that sums it up. That's what I try to do, is make it fun for people. There's no strings attached. You don't have to come to the service on Sunday. Nobody's going to try to duck you in the baptistry while nobody's looking, or nothing like that. It's just, it's still about community. Let's focus on what we have in common, other than what we have different. And maybe if we can become friends or something, maybe I'll get an opportunity to help you in another way. But if not, that's fine. Just come and fly. I don't care.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, and
and
that's the number one thing that pushes a lot of people away is when they feel that they're obligated to do something
hmm
or they feel pressured.
Yep.
And by you alleviating all that pressure, you're letting things happen naturally, like the
hmm
way they should,
right.
and
Yep. Yeah. It's
you'll know when you have someone hungry. You'll
hmm
know.
hmm
You'll know they'll come up to you and they'll start asking all the right questions, and you'll have all the right answers.
yeah.
They're all
Yep.
written down in that nice book that we call the Bible.
Right. And
Yes.
and we run up underneath the pews. And that's the thing. If you fly
That's
in
so cool
church,
right there.
pews will reach up and grab you.
Yes.
Especially if they're padded
Love 'em.
pews where the back and the seat come together. If you
Oh,
put a drone down in there, a ducted quad down it ain't coming back up. Nope. You're not
that
turtling
looks
out of it.
so cool.
It's just like so. And then flying underneath them, uh, we call that Beggar's Canyon. A friend of ours, Scott Jenkins, named it that from his race name is Red
Awesome.
Six. He's a big Star Wars fan, and when you go through the Infinity Gate and you drop down underneath those pews,
I might
it
still have it on my channel, and if I do, I'm gonna send you the video.
all right.
But my old pastor at the church I used to go to back when I was with my ex-wife,
hmm
he loved the drones.
Oh yeah.
He loved the
Oh
drones, and he actually let me fly one of my Whoops FPV in the sanctuary when there was no one there one night, and man, it was oh my gosh, it was so fun.
It's so
oh yeah.
yeah.
It is.
It
It's
It
just
is.
felt so wrong,
It
I felt
hmm
like, "Oh, man, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm whooping in the sanctuary." But, man, it
yeah
felt so right too, It felt
yeah.
so fun, and I'm like,
freedom.
"Ah,
I,
I don't think it's disrespectful
no,
because, I'm
I don't
having a
think.
good time. I'm not hurting anything. I'm not hurting anybody." So I roll with it.
Yep. I
Yeah.
believe relationship over religion. That's
Yes.
what I
Yeah.
teach.
It's about the
And
relationship. Yeah.
if you can't have a relationship with somebody, you don't need to be telling them about your religion.
No.
Yeah,
That's just
true.
my opinion. And
I can respect that opinion a lot.
so that's that's just how we do. I've had people say it's sacrilegious. No, nobody from my church is saying that. Uh, but I've had other people come on, post comments that I delete. Yeah, yep. Not every comment that comes on a video I make makes it to the public view. I admit that, but because I'm just
You're
not
not
the
hurting
people
you're
that.
not hurting a thing. You're having a
Yeah.
good time. You're making great relationships.
Yep.
Just
And
the
you're
praise
you're
song
giving
and
people a
dance.
great experience.
Mhm.
And those
Fellowship.
those twin boys that they love to come and fly, and the other young man, I think he was 10 or 11 when he was coming and all of that, and when he just said that if church is this fun, why haven't we came and or why haven't we already been coming? I was just like, oh man, that's
Exactly.
just
Like you
It
do
hits
something
you
like this,
hard.
you're gonna have kids that want to go every single week.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Versus if you try to beat them over the head with a Bible every week,
mm-hmm. That's
they're
it.
not gonna want to come
Nope.
No.
every
Mm-mm.
week or at all.
Nope. That's right.
And it's like,
And
well, what good is that doing?
yep. Yep.
Because now not only are they not in church, but now they're not
Mm.
even around community.
You're right. That's right.
Yeah.
And and
Appalls
it
them.
I tell adults, yeah, I'm almost a 50-year-old man. I collect stickers.
I have lots of toys.
And I got toys, and I bring my toys to church, and I teach other people how to play with toys. I'll let you if you don't have toys, come. I will let you play with my toys at church. You can fly my drones.
That's
You
right.
can use my goggles, and because it's
And
meet me in
and
the
that's
air.
also
Same here.
teaching people right there that you're not being selfish, you're not being greedy, you're sharing the love of your hobby and you're sharing your possessions with them so they can enjoy.
Yep.
That's teaching
Yes.
them at a young age to share.
Yep.
Share what you
Exactly.
have. If you're blessed, share it with others.
Share it with them.
Right?
Yep.
When I tell people all the time,
Sharing is
whenever
caring.
whenever a new
Yeah.
restaurant comes to town, if it's real good, people tell people, it's like, man, have you been here? Have you tried the pizza at this place or something? And, I'm just, the things that I love, I've always wanted to share them. And this is the way that I can share several things that I'm very passionate about.
Have you been in the news yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
I just have a feeling it's coming soon. They're going to do a news story on you one day. They're going to say, local pastor
with my last
is
name in
bringing
the area that I live
crowds
in.
by the dozens with this FPV technology.
Well,
I mean, it's a headline.
hey,
It
man,
really is.
hey,
It's a headline.
yeah, I claim that. I claim
truly
that. That'll be good.
How much has
That'd be truly
your church
amazing.
grown since you've started implementing all the FPV stuff? Percentage wise, just give me a number.
we started right around COVID, so we took the big hit. Like
Right.
most all churches in America took a huge lot of closed. So we took the big hit, and I would say probably maybe 10-15%. Not a lot yet, but
That's
because
still,
there's still a
if you
lot.
look at a church that just any other church and compare the numbers from COVID till now, I think you would probably find that 10 or 15% is actually pretty dang good.
Yeah. Now, if you're saying the people that start coming to church, if we're talking about people that come into the building to race and have a good time,
just new faces,
probably
like people that have
probably
never been there before are now coming and they're actively returning.
probably double the numbers.
Wow,
Since COVID, but probably double the numbers.
that's
If
awesome.
everybody
That's
that was
fantastic.
but I don't push that. So, I
Yeah.
don't, and I don't want to push that because some people
No.
drive like 2 hours. Casey, he lives 2.5 hours away. So for him to come up on every Sunday or Wednesday night or something, and some of the other guys that race that they live further away, and that's okay. I mean, that's not what it's not about building my church. It's about building relationship and building the
Right.
hobby, and and in the meantime, if something comes up, you need some help, you need some advice, something, then all right, then ask. And it's even on my Discord. Ask the pastor if something comes up.
And I've seen, in other churches and then my old church as well. The pastor at my old church, he was into motorcycles. That was his
Yep.
hobby. He loved to ride.
Mhm.
And he actually did a ministry
Yep.
with several members that
Mhm.
all had motorcycles, and they went out and they rode for Jesus. And they went out and they did the mission with the motorcycles. They rode around, they talked to people, they communicated, had community fellowships. This is no different. It's just different hobby.
Yep.
Right.
It's
Different
really
hobby.
what it is.
Fine.
If it's done right, that's all it is just sharing what you love. And but I'll be the first to admit there's a lot of people that's turned church into religion, and
Yeah.
that's hurt a lot of people. And
It's a shame.
I just me
It is.
personally, I don't have time for it. I don't want it.
Time for that.
I'm not, if I don't get too theological, but religion is what crucified, Jesus. And
Oh yeah. I mean, it's
and it was the church that crucified him. And though it was by the hands of the Romans, it was his very own people. So, I'd much rather have relationship, with people and
yeah. I mean, you
share.
can teach someone so much more without even sometimes
like that
even
night train.
speaking, just from your actions, what you do with that person, how you interact with them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
Don't
that's key.
don't tell me
Sure.
Show me.
how much you love something. Show me.
Yes.
And that's what I show how much I love. Anybody wants to come fly with me, I'm not. There's no litmus test. And that's what I liked about Minefield.
You mean I don't have to memorize half the Bible to be able to come fly with you?
No, and you ain't even got to be able to fly. That's the thing. You ain't got to be able to fly. I will let you bang my quads off of every wall in that church. I've busted more than probably half dozen frames. just letting people just bang my Mobula 6 all over the place, learning how to fly. And, you know, we were doing the Pocket Pro-Am race, and there was Jeff brought his kids, one of the guys, Super Snake, and one of them's autistic. And he was having a hard time just getting it. And when he made his first lap, when he completed a lap on the Pocket Pro-Am, and we do the same thing when somebody completes a lap in a drone course. It's a celebration. It's like, man, you won. You won. To complete a lap is a big thing. And you did it.
Get excited.
And no longer was he sitting there thinking that his brother was beating him. Go ahead, Casey.
No, I said I couldn't believe how good I was flying either this time. It was crazy.
Yeah, when Casey first came back around the first of the year, he could barely complete a lap.
I couldn't. Yeah.
And he knew how to fly. He could fly good outside. Yeah. Or fairly good. And good is relative, I guess. But yeah, now he was.
Now
he was given, which I'm not a fast pilot, but you know, I've flown under those pews hundreds of times.
That's so cool, man. I can't wait to share my video with you. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, do that. I would love
it. It was an experience that I honestly will never forget. But being able to fly in the sanctuary, it just I don't know, man. It was next level. Like it was like, oh my gosh, I feel so guilty, but man, I feel so good too. It feels so fun. Like the pews are so fun to like fly under.
Right.
Yeah. And there's so many like doorways and like things to fly around. And oh my gosh, up near the ceiling and stuff.
Somebody told me, said, you didn't even take your pulpit down. I'm like, why? Just another obstacle to fly around.
Exactly. Yeah, I want to highlight it. I want to show it in my video.
I mean, hitting it hitting it with a TinyWhoop's like hitting it with a paper wad. You're not going to hurt it.
No, not at all.
If it'll hold this big man up when I lean over on it, it's TinyWhoop.
All right,
not
so
gonna
this is a question I'm dying to ask you. And man, was that a good pun right off the bat. Right. How do you feel about flying in cemeteries?
Flying in cemeteries?
Yep.
I live right next to one and fly over it sometimes, and
you see what I did there, though? That was a pretty good pun for
the It was a perfect lead into it.
It was great.
That's what makes you a great YouTuber. You've got it. I don't think it's going to bother the people there at all.
I don't think it would either. Do you feel that it's disrespectful in any way to fly at a funeral? Let's just say if you go there and you don't see anyone there.
Well, if you don't see anyone there, fly it. I fly over there. There's a cemetery right there to the left. What you're seeing right there, out those windows is a cemetery, and I've flown over it hundreds of times, but never when there's anybody out there visiting.
Yes,
much less
that's where I think the line has to be like drawn. Mm-hmm. Like if you go there to fly and there's someone who's there. Mm-hmm. I would say that for me, I wouldn't fly until they're gone and until it's empty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Now I've buzzed grave diggers before. I've done that.
See, half my family is buried down the road here. And when I can fly from my yard and pick it up, I can fly over down there easy with my video, but I don't never get too low because I don't want to risk somebody being down there. But if I ever drove down there, I don't know. That's what I've always thought about. It's like a memorial type thing. Fly through it and make a real respectful memorial type video. I've always wondered that, and it's funny you asked that because it has been a recent.
I know that there's cemeteries that
you're already flying. There wasn't anyone there while when you first took off. And then someone comes while you're there. So in that scenario, I would probably just bring it back and land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would too. Because you don't know if that person's grieving. I know that with the cemetery, which our church doesn't own the cemetery. We used to, and we just give it over to the family of the people that's buried there. Let them take care of it. But I remember there was a couple that came to church a few times. They lived near us, and the husband died, and his wife, she was there all the time for a couple of years. She would bring like a
it's his
picnic,
dad.
like a
Yeah, it
picnic blanket, and she would sit out. And so to fly around, like that, I wouldn't do that, because she was clearly grieving
Yeah.
there. But like I said, I've buzzed the grave diggers before. They out there with the little backhoe thing, and I'm like, yeah, right through the through the backhoe and all that stuff. So it's a bullpit, not an art.
and
That's right. That's right.
I've seen people who have posted, flight videos of flying cemeteries, even though there wasn't anyone there.
Right.
And a lot of people tend to be upset or disturbed by that. And I can go both ways with it. It depends to me, it depends what's the whole scenario. Are you there alone, and is there no one else around? I don't think you're hurting anybody or hurting anything, But if there's someone there, I think that's where it gets a little dicey, because if someone's there and they're having a moment, and all they hear is your drone flying around.
Yep.
I personally would probably be upset as well.
Yeah.
Like I'm here sitting here trying to grieve the loss of so and so,
Right.
and I hear you over here buzzing your little toy around.
Mhm.
I can see where people would get upset with that. So for me, it's scenario based.
Right. Now there's some, the elderly gentleman that was over the cemetery, he just died just back several months ago. He was in his 90s. I flew over it with my Phantom. I think it was the Phantom the first time I flew over it, and I showed him, and he was like, "Hey, can I have a picture of that?" Because he was able to use that to see, where there was more graves or whatever.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So that they were, they actually liked that. So
that would be very helpful for like surveying the whole plot of land. To see what it looks like from above. Exactly.
Right. I agree, Mark at Zero.
I was about to say, I do too. I agree as well. I hope somebody's flying over me too when I'm dead.
Good night, King.
Oh yeah, once I'm gone, I'm gone. Matter of fact, I told my fiance, I said, when I do pass, I would like you to cremate my body, and I would like you to fly my ashes out to sea via drone, and that drone had better dang go down with my ashes as well.
And it better have
That's going to be a
on it.
one-way trip for that drone.
You guys might have noticed I started another raffle. It's still EDrone, but this one's not for his shirt. This one is for one of the Calvin peeing on remote ID shirts. So,
gotta get you one of these, guys.
Gotta
get you one of these.
Yep, here, let's advertise it again.
Thank you for showing the back. I am not standing up because I am not wearing pants. And I'm going to go ahead and just let you all know that right now. It's 10:30 at night, and I'm not wearing pants.
I think I accidentally half-mooned someone earlier, but
now it is wrong to fly over a cemetery if you're not wearing pants.
Yeah. Yes.
That's great.
And I was telling my soon-to-be daughter-in-law. She said, "You're going down there like that with no pants on?" I said, "Honey, they can't see what's below my shirt." And I said, "And I'm not standing up." And I said, "To be honest with you, if you were to take a poll and see how many people that stream and are on video calls, ask them how many actually have their pants on. The percentage will be pretty low."
Right. Droney Baloney. I love his name. I love Droney Baloney. I love that.
Oh yeah,
if I didn't already have PhatPastor, I would try to copy your name in some fashion or something.
It's great.
That is cool.
I would Droney Baloney. I would buy a Droney Baloney T-shirt. I'm just telling you.
Yes.
I can already see like the baloney with the drone.
Yeah, like for the discs, for the prop discs, it'd be pieces of flappy baloney. It'd be great.
Yes. That would be awesome.
There's got 6 minutes left on this giveaway. We're going to run it for 10 minutes like we did the other one. So, also, I didn't tell you at the beginning, EDrone, this is open, if you could stay 30 minutes, which you've already stayed a lot longer than that. But if you need to go, you're welcome at any time. If you want to send me if you got to go, you can see at the top, you can hit private chat. No one else will see that or something like that if you want to tell me something. But I'll. That being said, you gotta pee. That's great.
Great.
Uh-oh. Hope the link hasn't changed on him. He's not able to come back in.
Oh no. Hey, I did do that to me before. I hope it doesn't do it to
Yeah.
him.
Let me make sure that I send him one. Got him one coming on.
EDrone, the number 2 man and the number 1 business. That's right.
That's right. That's right.
He said maybe one day I'll have one designed. LOL.
Yeah.
A shirt. Maybe he'll have a shirt with
Yeah.
Tony Baloney.
I'm telling you, hold me to it, Droney Baloney. You get one made, and
yeah, there he is. Hey, there you are.
There you go.
Great.
There you go. I was getting ready to send you a link.
Yeah.
I totally had to do that to somebody because somebody did that to me on,
really?
on a live stream on mine. I said, "Hey man, whenever you got to go." Matter of fact, I think it was Michael Rollins. I was interviewing Michael Rollins. I'm like, "Hey man, whenever you got to go, just let me know." And he was like, "Boop, gone." Then he came back.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
That's funny.
So I was ready to send you another link because Casey hopped off one night, and I don't know how. We really don't even know if that was the case or not, that the link changed, because we end up finding out he had 2 different accounts.
Yeah.
But we don't know for sure if the link does change after a certain time. But we're not near midnight, so yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, I mean, I can stay till the end. I actually don't have to take a comfort break at the moment. So
yeah, yeah. Well, if you need to, I'm not far from a comfort from a pausing for the cause is what I call it.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, if a comfort break arises, believe me, I will rise with the camera off.
That's right. That's it. So we got 3 minutes left on the giveaway. So, if you want another shirt, there, EDrone, you can put your name in there.
I will let this one up to the other viewers because I already have one, so I don't want to be greedy. I want to let someone else win and have a represent PhatPastor shirt there.
Right.
But thank you for the offer.
All right.
And I actually would like to have you as a special guest on my show this fall as well. I'm thinking probably November.
All right.
I'll get with you on that.
I
don't like to book more than 2 streams a month.
Okay.
Just because it gets to be a little much once you go over 2 streams a month for me personally.
Right.
So
well, you do a lot more content than I do. Just your edit on the Insta360 Go 3. I'm sure it had to take a lot of time. I watched.
Yeah, that one took a while. That one.
Yeah,
that one was. That one took a while. I enjoyed it though. It was weird because it was a lot of work, but I actually enjoyed it because it was a little bit different than the content I typically do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
I liked it. It was. I learned a lot from it watching. I was like, hey. Now I have experienced. I heard you say that you've had a couple files that just corrupted or whatever. I've had a couple on mine too. That I know I videoed it.
Have you ever had it where the pod like turns itself off and or not the pod, the camera turns itself off and disconnects from the pod?
Yep, that's what happened when I was doing. Yeah. If you pay attention on my Mobula 8 video, at the first of it, I'll look over this way, and because I had my Insta360 Go set up right up here by this monitor, and I had my bench cam, and then I had my face cam, and at the very end, I didn't know it had turned off, and I actually look at the camera, and I make a gesture, and I couldn't cut to that because the camera had stopped.
Yeah, I had the battery die once mid film when I was doing my e-bike review. But other than that and then the disconnect, I've not had any issues with it so far. Yeah. No overheating or anything like that.
No, I was using it at a motorcycle rodeo thing that I filmed it, and it worked fine
Oh,
for that.
cool.
But yeah, I got to fly over the U.S. Secret Service motorcade support with a drone.
Wow.
I talked to the guy, the captain of the group, and I was like, "So I can fly my drone over?" He said, "This will be your only chance."
Wow, that's so
And
cool,
he's
man.
like, and when we're driving, he said, "Don't get close up footage of the panel, of the cowling or whatever it's called, the control panel." He said, "It's open to the public. You can go back here and look. Nothing you can see. But if I'm actually driving it and there's video footage of it, they will take it."
Wow. What an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, it was actually it was pretty neat,
That's
and it was
awesome, man.
all. I went out to film a range test for the Mobula 8. If you watch on that video, you'll hear me say I'm going to another location. When I picked up to go to the other location, well, here's this motorcycle rodeo going on, and me being me, just bull in a china shop, I just went up to the organizer and said, "Hey, can I fly it?" And he's like, "Yeah, why not?" I showed him my Mob 8 and my Mob 7. I said, "They got ducks, not going to hurt anything." He said, "Just make sure all of the precincts that are doing it don't cut off." And Dave from Suffolk County sent me this. He was the main one that I'm chasing. I almost hit him 2 or 3 times with my Mob 8. And it was just great. It was great how it just all worked out.
Yeah, I've got some
Chance of a
things on my
lifetime.
bucket list, that's for sure. I wanna chase some motocross. I wanna chase some dirt bikes.
Mm-hmm.
People
Oh
doing
yeah.
some jumps and stuff. That's on my bucket list. Have
All
you ever done
right.
any drift car chasing?
I have not. I have a friend of mine,
Definitely try
Singrith,
it.
Jim. He does it. I think he works for. I might be wrong here, but I think he works for Corvette, which the Corvette plant is like 30 minutes from me.
Oh, wow.
And I know he flies for them when they're testing their cars out on the test track. And
Oh,
he asked
yeah.
me about it's been over a year ago now. You know, I was looking into getting my Part 107, and
Definitely.
he's like, "You got to have it to fly at the Corvette plant, because you're
Yeah,
flying
same thing
over."
for my local, drift track. They do require 107.
And I got the course and everything, and about partway through it, I just realized that it would be too much. Not
It's not an easy test, and then, of course, now you got this
well.
whole
I've
remote ID shenanigans,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
which is just kind
I've
of a
already passed that
bummer.
test because years ago I used to work at
I
the
got
airport,
back.
and I took the ground course. I was going to get my private. I was practicing. We did photogrammetry. We flew up in a twin-engine airplane and
Oh,
took pictures
nice.
and made ortho photos, the early stages of Google Earth, and so I took and I know all that stuff already. It's
They
pretty
have
much
a
just
I think there's a different type of license if you're already a manned aircraft pilot. I think you get, like, an exemption or an exception or something. A little bit of a perk,
I
I
think
think,
it's yeah, I
to
think
get
it's
your
part of it.
107.
Yeah, I think it's part of it. And of course, there's been some talk about a Part 108. If they go that route, I'll probably do that. But I'm a full-time and a more than full-time pastor, and I just don't have the time that,
Yeah.
and I knew with Jim that he was going to need somebody that see, I had rented the room and booked and got everything ready to go to IO. And on top of being a pastor, I have a handicapped daughter, and she started having seizures, so I wasn't
Oh,
able to go to
no.
IO. And something like that, if someone there's a death or someone's in a car wreck or something big comes up in a member of the church's life, it doesn't matter what I got planned. There's been times that we've had to come home from vacation. So, with that and him, if you're depending on me to be here and there's 6, you know, 6 rounds of draft cars, and you can't possibly fly all of them, and I just can't show up that day. So I have to, reluctantly tell him, man, though I want to, I can't.
Absolutely. You can't. Yeah, you got to take care of family first, man. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Always family first.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, let me share my screen here, and we'll do this giveaway of my shirt. And
Good luck, everybody.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck too. I've got to find which one it is. 'Cause I got like a ton of windows open, and this
I got
Mac
my
is-
107 years ago.
What happened?
Before the whole remote ID thing, and that's a really tough question, because if I had to get my 107 now with the whole remote ID thing, I don't even know if I would. I think it's going to discourage a lot of people from wanting to even get a 107.
Yeah.
Because of how much of a burden it's going to be for cost and nuisance and
I agree.
privacy and
And I think that it would just put a scrutiny on me that I, and maybe it's not, but just put a scrutiny on me that I don't want. So
no, I agree. I agree.
And
I'm kind of in the pinch where I've already got it, so it's like, well, they already know who I am.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I guess I got to do what I got to do, so they don't throw me behind bars.
Here's your names. We got 6 people in it, so
nice.
We're going to pick a winner now.
Good luck,
Night
guys.
Train FPV is
Oh,
the
Hey,
winner.
Night Train.
Congratulations.
He's
What I
actually got an
need,
EDrone shirt, so he'll have an EDrone and a PhatPastor shirt.
Awesome.
yeah, I'm halfway through Remote Pilot 101.
Yep. I have a lifetime, but it may take my lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I need you to do is, you see scrolling across the top of the screen, didn't mean to leave that scrolling the whole time, but you'll see there that it has my email address, phatpastorfpv@gmail.com. Let me know your size, and it's red or blue. Is your colors to choose from with mine. Let me see if I can share a picture.
So cool.
And honestly, guys, the most important thing I honestly can say is just be safe, man. Just don't do anything, that's going to put anybody at risk of being injured or hurt, and you'll be fine. Just be safe, fly responsible, and I don't think you'll have much to worry about.
I don't think so. I don't think. I think that if the FAA is going to do anything, they will make. You'll hear about it first, because I think if they're going to hit anybody, they're going to hit YouTubers first.
Oh yeah,
they're going to hit it. They're going to hit content creators.
Yeah,
because people are
with
watching.
a large following, so they can make an example.
Yep.
Try and scare others.
They're going to hit Bardwell for flying in his home without a FRIA. So
we didn't see no spotter, Bardwell.
Right. And you did it in the furtherance of a business, so you should have,
And that's the thing,
see, that's
man.
the part.
There's
The 250
so
gram
many pilots that fly beyond visual line of sight.
Yes.
They'll sit there and show themselves doing it and post it. It's like, what are you gonna do? You gonna go give everybody a fine? No.
Yeah. Well, and see, I'm mostly micro guy. Tiny trainers and TinyWhoops. Of course, I'm inside a lot, but think about this paradigm. Remote ID states if it's sub 250 and you're doing it in the furtherance of a business, Bardwell reviewing a sub 250 quad, he has to have remote ID on it.
Yeah.
If you're doing it, it does the 250 restriction. When you're doing it in the furtherance of the business,
only.
That's correct. So if I become a Part 107 and I review the Mobula 8, I've got to put a remote ID on that, or I'm flying illegal.
I know. The problem is the FPV is such a new and small hobby that it's not even accounted for in all of the rules and regs. It's just not.
Right.
It's just not even thought about, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because we need to have shielded operations.
Yes.
Exactly.
Low
Yes.
altitude shielded operations, and we
Definitely.
need to have flying beyond visual line of sight
Yes.
And especially if it's
exemption.
your, like, I don't know if you saw my FAA, my remote ID video. I'm just out here in the yard with my Ed Grimley whoosh going on, and there's 290 acres around me. My brother lives on one side of me, my uncle lives on the other side of me, and then 290 acres, not including the woods across the street. And I have permission to fly over all of it. But, you know, I can't because, you know, the FAA says that I don't own the rights to fly over that. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, in all Class G airspace, you know, with the exception of, you know, certain special areas, should not even require remote ID to begin with anyway. They don't even require manned aircraft to have radios in that airspace.
Right.
But yet we got to put a remote ID module tracking our location. Makes no sense.
And
And Market Zero, I totally can understand where you're coming from with that. And I feel like that's going to be subjective towards, you know, different individuals. Some people are going to find the test to be extremely easy. Some are going to find it to be very difficult. It's all according to the person, you know, their knowledge, the way they retain information. For me, it was difficult. It was a very difficult test. I don't get excited, or I'm not very,
Not a good tester.
interested in airspace and looking at charts and learning the weather reports. That kind of stuff really just, it was hard to soak in for me.
The METARs.
The METARs, yeah. It was.
Why do you need to know that to be a drone pilot? Think about that.
Well, because they want you to have an appreciation of how much goes into aviation safety, and I get that. I get it.
Yeah.
But you know, let's try and make it a little more drone related versus actual aircraft.
Before I ever flew FPV, now I was already into radio control. I worked 5 days a week, 5 to 6 days a week, doing photogrammetry at an airport. Our hangar was right beside Reba McEntire's hangar. And, you know, I've had hundreds and hundreds of hours in a twin-engine airplane, flying all over the country, filming, shooting still photos, and never met, because I was going through, taking the courses and stuff, never met a pilot that used METARs. If they flew regular, they had a radio.
Yeah. Or they had an app.
Yes. Yeah. And, you know, well, there wasn't apps back then. So, because this was in the 90s. But,
okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they had a radio, and, you know, some of the screens had they could pull up the radar and all of it. I mean, so I was
just
like,
not with the times. They haven't updated everything with the times.
Yeah.
You know, flying visual line of sight, that's something that used to be, you know, done with flying, you know, RC planes and stuff. You know, that was the whole reason they wanted you to not fly it beyond visual line of sight. There was no FPV back then.
Right.
FPV is not even accounted for that ruling.
No.
Makes no sense.
I told somebody, I was talking about it. It may have been Bruce. I'm trying to get him on the show. And, you know, that's just
he's actually he's on Shelby Voll's show this coming Sunday, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I know he said he had quite a bit. He dropped in on here one night, but I think I was talking to him, and I told him, I said, I think that the METARs and whatever the other one is, I forget the name of it. To me, it's tantamount to forcing children in school to still learn the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah.
Nobody uses it.
Yeah.
You know, the card catalog. I mean, and if you're younger than a certain age, you're probably like, what's he talking about? Card catalog, Dewey Decimal System. Exactly. I mean, it was the way that you had to find books in a library 30 years ago. You know,
it's like teaching kids cursive. Really, the only thing cursive you need to know is your name.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Who the heck writes in cursive anymore? Does anybody write in cursive? I don't know if anybody writes in cursive. We either text it or we write a letter in print.
Right.
Right.
That's right.
You know, got to get with the
I think
times.
my mom still writes cursive, but she's 70 something. So
No, the thing is, the remote ID makes sense. This is why it makes sense. It's going to turn into cents and dollars for the government. That's
Oh,
exactly what it's going to be.
yeah.
That's what it's all about. It's all about money. It's about, hey, you got to pay to play. You got to pay us to pay to play. And
I
eventually it's going to go to a network broadcasting system where,
Mhm.
just like your cell phone, you're going to have to pay a carrier. Every time you want to go fly, you're going to have to pay a fee. It's
and they will
ridiculous.
sell,
Absolutely ridiculous.
and I believe they will sell portions of airspace to different
Mhm.
carriers.
Yep.
And if you want on that airspace, you're going to have to pay for the right to fly in that airspace.
Amazon
And
is going to be first in line.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're
It's
Yep.
all
trying to
money
take
grab.
over. Yeah.
All
Ding,
money
ding,
grab.
ding, money, says
That's
my
why I'll be
sister.
flying my sub 250, because all my drones identify as sub 250
that's
in this
correct.
house.
That's right. They sure do. Every single one of them.
I only have 2 now. Both of them are iNav. That one and that one. That's a
I would
7
just
inch.
say, without saying too much, there's still a lot, and I mean a lot, of gray area with remote ID.
Oh,
A
sure.
lot of
Yeah,
gray area
sure.
that you can
Just
use to your advantage.
Mm.
We don't even have enough modules to meet the demand.
No.
no. They've pushed it back because of this.
Yeah, they're not going
Yeah.
to be able to do
Well,
enforcement for at least another year, I think.
that is, I don't
Like,
think that that's official, the pushing back. That's
No,
what
no,
I've
no.
heard, what I've
I
heard.
don't think they're going to push back, but I don't think they're going to actually be able to do any enforcement of non-compliance for at least a year. At least a
yeah, at
year.
least.
Unless it's somebody who does something deliberately unsafe or causes injury or bodily harm or property damage. That person then is going to get put under the microscope, and then, the not having the remote ID will be taxed on to the other
Yep.
lists of charges.
Yep. The litany of stuff that they're gonna nail
Yeah.
you with. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be safe.
Yep.
If somebody asks you
And
to leave, just leave. Don't,
well,
if it's not
and
your
don't be
property and they
stupid.
say, hey, I don't want you flying here, just don't hassle
Go.
them. Just leave.
Yeah.
Get up.
You
All
know?
right.
And if you put something up in the air, realize the good chance it's going to come down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not where
And
you're expecting.
yeah,
No,
I was actually at a church this
I can't
weekend,
fly like right
and
now.
had like 5,000 people in it. I wasn't
Oh, wow.
speaking, but they had like a Mavic Air inside the church,
Oh,
flying like 3 foot, 4 foot over top of people's heads.
oh, no, 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 no,
And
no.
I told the people I was with, I was like, listen, if you come back here, I'm not saying anything bad about this church. I'm not going to say the name of it. I said, but if you come back here, you watch that drone. I said, because one, it's inside. They don't have GPS.
Nope.
I know that that's a Mavic. So he's
Yeah.
flying it, not autonomous. And I could tell by the way it was twitching, and stuff. When it would go over people or the cameras, it was a bigger church.
Sensors don't work good in low light either.
Yeah, and I said, if that thing comes down at dead least stitches,
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
and I said, if you
If
see
there's
it
enough
start,
left.
yeah, and Casey about tore his finger off
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Oh,
with
yeah.
a
It
5
was
inch.
bad.
Oof.
He just
Yeah.
rearmed it when he went to pick it up.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, my fingernail's just now growing back. It completely cut my fingernail in complete two. It shredded this whole end off, and this whole end of my finger was off.
So that's
Oh, yeah. Those
that's
brushless motors spinning a prop is not a good combination when it comes to your skin.
Yes, it still
thus the
hurt
name
like
Oops
pretty bad.
FPV.
Yeah.
He used to be called Casey Quadtronics, and he changed it after that to Oops FPV. So,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like the name. It sticks.
yeah,
I mean,
he asked
I
he
remembered
asked
it.
he asked the chat. He was like, he's like, I'm looking for a new name, and it just I don't know if I said it or somebody else said it. Probably I think it might have been Brundlefly or somebody. Come on, and it was like, I think Oops FPV or something, and I was like, oh, that's it. That's it. That's what you got to go with. That's what you got to go with. He had his finger all bandaged up.
Yes.
I'm trying to
And
think of like
had
the
it
worst
splint.
injury I've had.
Oh, my worst
I don't
injury.
think I've been
Serious.
fortunate enough. I haven't had one flip out on me, or haven't
What
had
are you
my
talking about
hand
with a
cut up
fly?
yet. Thank God.
The
Yeah.
worst accident I had was at Minefield.
Don't bend down and reel.
I nicked my hand right here, and it bled a
Ooh.
little bit. You see
Yeah.
that little spot right there?
Yeah.
But that's it.
Actually, I take that back. I did have an injury. The worst injury I had
Feel bad.
was I was flying freestyle, and I was bringing the drone back to come back and land. And a lot of times I like to do the hot landings.
Mm-hmm.
And I come in and I disarmed, and it hopped, and it come up and bit me in my shin.
Mm.
I had shorts on, and it actually hopped right into my leg, probably, good like 30, 40 mile an hour.
No.
Luckily it was disarmed, but it was a 5-inch, so it had a decent amount of weight on it. And it hit me right in the shin, and it like kind of cut my shin a little bit and bruised it. That was the worst injury I've gotten so far.
Well, now I hit myself with a 5-inch drone. There's a video on my few years back. I was racing. I was practicing racing. Had the timer set up like 25 feet up from me. So I was sitting on my porch, and the start-finish gate's like 20 feet from me, and I'm pushing. Because when I wasn't racing anybody, racing myself.
Right,
and
right.
Yeah.
I hit the ground, and it comes up,
Yeah.
hits the roof of my porch, and then hits me right here in the shoulder.
Ooh.
And it
Oh,
felt
yeah.
like I've been kicked by a cow. It felt like I was kicked by a mule. It
Yeah.
just when it hit me so hard, you can see in the video I'm stunned. I'm like, what? And I pull my goggles off, and I'm looking, and I mean it hit me so hard that it left a hickey. Looked just like a big hickey on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And it happened so fast.
And
Ooh,
I'm
the video
and I'm
is
padded.
crazy.
I'm fluffy.
He said he's
So
padded.
It's the
Christ.
momentum, and that carbon and the weight.
It happened so
When
quick.
it
It's
hits
like,
you, man, you know it. You know it.
I would say it was probably going 70, 80 miles an hour when it hit the ground. And then boom, and it hit me with that big 4S battery and everything on it.
Oh yeah.
If it would have hit me in the mouth or in the head, it would have.
Head.
No question. I've had a brain injury. I know what it takes. I've had multiple concussions. That would have been another concussion on my list.
Yeah. So definitely don't ever not think about the drone skid and jump scenario, because even though you go to come in for a skid, sometimes they end up jumping. They jump
Yes.
right at you.
Yes.
Yep.
I actually have a mark on my leg, a scar on my leg from a 75 millimeter, but it was a 2 or 3S quad. It was a little 75 millimeter, and it onto my leg, and ow! Oops.
Night Train, I will check all of that. I'll check my emails and stuff after, but I do see your message here that said that you sent it. So, yeah, I will respond to all of the emails tonight from the giveaway winners. So, yeah. Well, you got anything you would like to talk about, EDrone, before we wrap this thing up tonight?
I think we've covered a lot. I just want to say thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. It's weird being on this side of it because I'm so used to like running the stream. So it's kind of nice just to kind of sit back in the what do you want to call it?
In the guest
passenger
seat.
seat.
Yeah. Right.
And it's been a lot of fun, man. I was so happy I got to meet you guys in person. And Minefield was a total blast, and everybody else I got to meet there. And I'm just so thankful for all the support that I get from everybody, and I don't take it lightly. I really don't, and that's why I really do hard to push to give back as much as I can. And just if you're new to my channel, I'd like you to check out my channel.
Yes.
Subscribe if you like what you see. Try to make sure I put out some good wholesome content, live streams and all that. I will be doing more live streams going into the fall.
Really?
Summertime, I kind of take a little bit of a break just because life is just so busy in the summer with flying and family trips and
Yeah.
camping and all that kind of stuff. But
Live. Yes.
Live.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually excited to get back to doing the streams, and I'd love to have you, Pastor, as
Yes.
well, on
Yes.
a future live stream. We'll definitely set that up.
Yes, we'll have to. I'll definitely have to do that. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got tons of stuff coming down the pipeline. And if you want to know more about what's to come, the best way to get all the early info is to just join my Discord server. You know, it's in the
Yeah.
links of all my videos, and it's free to join. You don't have to pay a penny to join my Discord. It's completely free. You'll get all the sneak peeks about what's coming up on the channel. I've got drone reviews coming. I've got 3.5-inch drone build videos coming. More
Oh,
FPV
really?
adventures. More minefield stuff coming. I still got minefield videos that
Yes.
I'm putting out. So
Yes.
And,
I
and
haven't
there's
yeah,
a
just
link
really
in the
appreciate the
description.
support, guys.
Link in the description to his channel. That's up there on the screen. If you have a link for your Discord, if you would want to pop it in private chat, Eric, then we'll put it in here also for people to join that.
I think I
go
can
to
do
it
that.
right now.
Let me see what I can do behind this. Am I still in the stream? Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Let me see if I can share that real quick for you. And I should be able to do this. I've not actually shared on my. I normally do everything on my phone, but I'm going to just try something here.
I'm trying to find your Discord on one of your channels, but I can't find it either. Discord. There it is.
Oh, here we go.
Cool.
Invite people. There we go.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, we'll do a never expiring link. I always do never expiring links.
All right.
Copy. All right, coming up soon here. Actually was able to do this on the fly here. So private chat here. I'll go ahead and type it in the private chat and send.
I'm joined.
There you go.
Casey, grab that and copy it while I am a man of my word, if nothing else. One last final giveaway here, and it's a 5-minute running. And again, type EDrone. I believe that's what you'll type. It'll tell you. Yep. Type EDrone, and this last one is for the vinyl remote ID sticker.
Nice.
Go on your car or your flight box
Yeah,
or whatever.
Like this.
Yep.
You said
The same thing that's on the front of the shirt. Calvin
Good.
keying on remote ID. This will go out to the winner of that.
you said
Nice
copy,
big sticker too.
Yes.
said
Yep.
copy that.
That way you
Yep.
make sure it's visible from 3 statute miles.
That's right.
Oh,
I got it.
man.
I got it, Casey.
What was you? I didn't
I got
register. What you was talking about.
I'm posting a link to his Discord. There it is. There. In there. Right above Market Zero's correct.
Oh, he. Oh, okay.
Yep. That's a link to EDrone's Discord.
There you
So
go.
if you guys have not joined that, join that. We are 3 hours into this, and again, Eric, thanks so much for coming out, and you know, and
Been such
you're
a great-
welcome anytime here.
Yeah, man.
Got my
Thanks for having
contact
me on.
information. If there's something going on your channel and you want to pop on for 5 minutes and tell somebody that you know you're doing a giveaway or you're going to be a certain place or whatever, you're always
Actually,
welcome.
I do have something I probably should mention while we're here.
Okay.
It's running right now. It's something brand new that I've never done before on my channel. I'm doing a monthly challenge. So every month I'm going to do a different challenge. And right now there's actually a monthly challenge that if you can just post a 1-minute video with one tree, it's a 1 tree challenge.
Okay.
Make sure you tag me in the title at EDrone. Basically, just pick one tree. It can be any RC aircraft that you have. Could be a wing, could be a whoop, could be a 5-inch, could be a Mavic. Do something creative with one tree in 1 minute, and you can use cuts as well.
Oh.
Share that. Make sure you copy, you tag me in the title. You can also share it in my Discord server as well. Put it up to YouTube, and then after a month, which we'll be voting on the winner in the first stream in October. The winner, whoever you got all the people vote on to be the best video, is going to win a brand new Ethics FPV backpack from flyhighfpv.com. Brand new backpack, real nice gift, real nice giveaway for the winner of the One Tree Challenge. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well,
yeah, I
Amazing.
wanted to do
Speaking-
something that was like for everybody. Like I
Yes.
feel like anybody should be able to have access to One Tree and any kind of RC aircraft. You know, that should be able to hit a broad variety of people.
Yes. Yes.
And I figure even though it's an FPV backpack, it's still a backpack that camera drone people can still use that backpack. You could put your camera gear in it, your Mavic drone. Heck, I think the bag would probably even fit like a Phantom.
Here on our Discord, Bob Bruce did some flying yesterday for the One Tree Challenge.
There you go.
Right there.
There
There's
you
that
go.
link. And
That's
Yep.
awesome.
so they're already sharing it, brother.
Yeah,
Awesome, man.
awesome.
So excited to
Amazing.
see everybody's entries, and I
Yes.
think it's going to be really cool.
I want to throw some in there too. That's gonna be cool. Yeah.
Definitely, man.
30
Yeah.
seconds left on the giveaway.
That
Get
would be
Exclamation
creative
point.
with it, you know?
EDrone.
Yes, it's so wild that you just found this out because today, out of all days, I was just like, looking at this tree right here. And see, recently I've been doing
A
like
new
some
car.
weird tricks over it, and so yeah, I can't wait to.
Nice.
Now I get I could share that tree footage.
Yeah,
I've got a little bit of.
I didn't want to
No.
make it like just FPV, you know? Like this could be any drone. You could take a
Yeah.
Walmart drone for all I care. If you
Yeah.
make it
Awesome.
cool and you make a cool edit and everybody's like, man, that was really cool what you did with that,
Cool.
you can win. You don't have to just have an FPV, or you don't have to have some $3,000 camera drone. Like it doesn't matter. Any
Right.
RC aircraft, anything that has a camera and flies, you can use it. Helicopter, whatever. Just make it 1 minute
That's
or less.
awesome.
One tree. Tag me at EDrone. One Tree Challenge in the title, and boom, you're entered.
It's awesome. I hope,
Awesome, man.
I
That's
hope
awesome.
someone
Awesome. I'll
gets
have
it.
to.
Not train
I don't
busy.
need another backpack, but I have to
Yeah,
send one in there. Let's see.
It's
Let's
pretty
see.
nice.
it would get
It's pretty nice bag.
it would get
Now-
a good giveaway, would.
Now, see, it pays to be latecomers on the show.
There
There's
you are.
1
There
and
you
3
go.
chance, just a 1 and 3 chance of winning. So let's not belabor this any longer. And Market Zero,
Hey,
you
good luck,
won.
man. Congrats.
Hey,
Congrats, bro.
congratulations.
Congrats.
Awesome, man.
Market Zero
So,
has
yeah.
won a
Oh.
exclamation point.
So the email address is right up there. Give me your address, and this will go out. Probably not this week, because usually after Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's crazy busy for me. And it'll usually be Monday before I get around to mailing anything. But congrats to everyone,
Congrats, guys.
and
Yes.
go ahead,
Congratulations.
join Discords, all this kind of stuff there. Smash that like button if you're on here and you still haven't done that. Also, there's links down in the description. If you're going to go on Amazon and buy anything, use that affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything. Helps the channel out. All of it goes to being able to do these races and stuff and have awesome, awesome guests like Eric over here, Mr. EDrone, with us tonight. And I just want to thank everybody that come out and participated in tonight's stream. A big thank you, Eric, Mr.
Yeah, man,
EDrone,
awesome
for
stream. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you all. Yes.
and like I was saying,
Amazing.
anytime if you want to pop in and just message me. You know how we were what we contact on before. Just message me there and feel welcome Thursday nights at 7:00. Pop on for
And I'm
5
gonna
minutes.
hit your
Now-
links to get those little analog FPV camera VTX little combo kits for all my RC cars, man. I'm definitely gonna hit your links.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
All right.
They're good.
All right. I don't know if those links are in it, but I'll put those links in there.
Okay.
because,
Well, yeah, make sure they're in
the
there. 'cause
car
I want you
links
to
are
get credit
definitely
for
in
'em,
there.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
you're the one that told me the most about them that I knew.
Yeah.
And I was
Well,
able to
if
see
not, just
how
you know
clear
how
they were.
Amazon links work. Click any link, whatever you buy after that. So if it's not on there and you still
I
want to
could
do it,
just click on your Amazon link and search for something else, and you'll still get credit, right?
Yes.
that's correct. That's correct. So there was
The
actually
beauty of Amazon.
Yes.
that was somebody that actually bought like a it's like a $400 or $500 something. I think it was a vacuum cleaner or something. They clicked
Awesome,
my
man.
link.
Yeah.
And
Keep doing what you're
I got-
doing, man. I love what you're doing with the whole
Well, thank
sharing the hobby of FPV with your community and your church. I think it's fantastic. And yeah, make sure you keep your eye on my channel for PhatPastor, because we're gonna have
Yes.
him on my show as
Yes.
well. And we'll have a great time.
Yes. And again, thank you so much for coming and being a part. We're gonna wrap this thing up here. And again, just great show. Anything else? Anything else? Any last final questions, guys, in the chat? I don't see anything. Thumbs have been smashed.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Congratulations to the winner. I think
Thanks
we're
for
all
the
winners
support
tonight,
guys.
Yep.
Yes.
We're
Congratulations.
all winners
everyone.
tonight. So, all right.
Yes.
We're going to wrap this thing up. EDrone, thank you. We'll see you, brother.
You guys have a great night, and I'll definitely be in touch.
Yes.
All right, brother.
You have a blessed
EDrone,
night. It's been an
out.
honor, brother.
All right. Here, brother.
Later, guys.
Later, brother.
All right. Thanks, Casey.
Thank you, and it has been great, amazing, great.
Yep.
You all have a blessed night.
Yes. Oh.
Boop. Boop.
Oops.
Oops.
All right. Thank you to everybody that participated. Please, if you won something, please message me. If I don't have your address, I can't send it out to you. So wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, remember to keep flying and rise up and meet me in the air.